All right. Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club Stop and Chat. Today we have a very special returning guest. Mr. James Craig is back with us, bro. How?
Too many specials.
You want me to retract a couple?
I'll take one.
I retract 2 specials.
Okay.
Is that good?
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
That'll work.
What do they do in the newspapers? I mean, I guess it's a retraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Retracted.
They do that.
Retracted. That's
Instant.
official.
Yeah.
It's official. Like you only got one special.
I'm down with that.
Leave a comment below. You know what I'm saying? I don't like James Craig.
No, but he wanted that. It's not that you don't like him. He wanted the
per-
one.
No, but dude, that's the
request.
thing though, is like the audience doesn't know that. So if I just said like, oh, we have a
He
special guest.
He asked.
I don't deserve 3 specials.
Yes,
Yes, you do.
absolutely you do.
Yeah, you do.
Jake Rosenberg, 3 specials.
Let me tell you.
Dubs
How about
gets 3
5?
specials.
9.
No.
No, let me
one.
let me tell you something, James Craig.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a big fan like throughout the years and stuff. We kind of grew up in the same era, you know, same spots and stuff, you know, Venice and all these spots. You were more, you know, down
Orange County.
Orange County-ish,
Yeah.
but you know, when we dropped your episode on the 9 Club, not that I was shocked, but like you really have a fucking fan following, bro. Like people really like I was like, you know, because there's those episodes, you know, and I'm like,
You never
James
know.
Craig is popping, bro. Like,
Dude,
you better set up a table out front of Supreme and start signing autographs. Like,
I mean,
shit.
not Supreme, but I'll be like down the street. Yeah, I don't,
But you know what I mean, though? Like, I was like, dude, James Craig, he's got a great following, bro. Like, people really like
that.
your shit.
I don't know. I think I just tried to be nice to people when I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
I looked up to pros.
You always
and-
were, though, yeah.
That
I
goes a
looked
long-
up to
that goes a long
him.
way.
I
Yeah.
watched him in all the videos, man.
One thing though is you always put your personality out there.
That's true.
Even like when you had your injury with your knee, whatever, you put it all out there, and I think a lot of people love that. You know.
Yeah, Colin Kennedy, props.
Yeah.
He did that. It was depressing to watch almost. Like the music and everything was like so like, oh my god.
Yeah, but you took people on a journey.
That's for
I think
sure.
the thing that made me relate to you the most was when you and Danny Garcia got together and like you guys would bicker back and forth, and then you guys had amazing parts kind of sharing with each other.
Yeah.
And I
we
thought-
always had a friendly competition. I mean, Danny will say, I think even on his episode, he said I used to be a dick to him before that. Like I was like the cool guy, which I'm clearly not. He is the cool guy. But yeah, there was, I don't know. I love skateboarding. I love being around my homies and stuff like that. So it was just one of those things where I'm not going to apologize for just being me. I'll be honest.
No, for
You
sure.
shouldn't.
And I love the Danny Garcia and those bickerings, because when you see somebody in person,
Yeah.
you know, you're just like, oh my, these guys are the best.
Yeah.
Like they just are so shit talking to each other.
But
It's
friendly
fucking
banter.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Friendly.
But to be honest with you, for me, it was like motivation. Like
Right.
I needed that a little bit to like kind of push me. Like it's like Jordan. Jordan would make up like whatever
Shit, yeah.
shit. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with Danny, it was always pretty easy because we were like pretty close. And then at one point, he kind of was like, when he like kind of like surpassed me, he didn't really like doing it because I would like try to egg him on, like, all right, that shit was whatever.
What do you think,
like,
he felt
I got
like
this.
bad or something? Like he's,
I don't know. I think maybe just personality
know.
changed a little bit, and he just didn't. I don't think he wanted the competition because he thought that it compromised our friendship.
Oh, okay. I can
to
see
me-
that.
But to me, it was like it kind of reinforced our friendship.
Right.
To me,
Right,
that was just
right.
a personal.
And that's what it does, though, because I mean, we banter here on the show, and like some people that tune in for the first time may not understand that, and
Right.
you're like, they're like, "Wow, that guy's a dick," or whatever. Like, stop being mean, and you're just like, "Yo, dude, we've been friends for like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is just what friends do, right? It's like."
Well, and
It's
you-
like almost a term of endearment
For sure.
when you are bantering.
Yeah.
And you feel that comfortable with somebody to do that.
Right?
For sure.
For sure.
Definitely.
well, and I think it's just the environment that kind of skateboarding and skate shops, like when
Yes.
you're not actually skating and you're just with the homies talking shit, like that's kind of what kind of made you who you were. Like
Yeah.
you had to have the chops to be able to like take it and then dish it out.
I mean, especially
right?
from our era too.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was the
Oh, I mean, Luis Cruz still calls me T-Dog. Like
Tito.
Bowser. Like Bow Wow. Like for 25 years. You know
That's
what I
so
mean?
funny.
What up, T-Dog?
What up, T-Dog?
Yeah.
Dude's been here for 30 years, hasn't lost his accent at all.
Bro.
It's insane. Like some of his friends who came before him, this dude Melvin and his homie Ralph, like they're IE dudes, no accent at all.
No accent.
Luis, Still,
Dude.
can't understand a word he's saying sometimes.
Bro, I love the. You'd be like, "Oh, the Pabst Brew ribbon."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you are still going hard with those R's, bro. We did this thing with, was it Cairo's birthday? Or his Cairo's retirement party?
Yeah.
And we did interviews with people and Luis Cruz, and I put subtitles in there because it was, and I put like R ribbon.
Oh, yeah, I stole that one. It was so good. I loved it. Someone picked up on it. It was amazing.
But we love Luis.
Yeah,
like he's
the best.
like the best guy
Definitely.
ever. You know, but
That's the homie.
he's a homie.
Talked to him the other day.
He's
we
great.
need to get him on.
Oh,
We did that little salesman thing.
yeah,
with
yeah.
him, and it was fun.
He's great.
Yeah, yeah.
He's great. Phenomenal skateboarder, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Master of, I mean, he was as illusion flip as Musket Man. It was-
Yeah.
He did it good.
Yeah,
he
he
did it good.
legit.
He did, bro.
The switch tray. Still to this
Ooh,
day.
at Chafing?
Not
Yeah.
only hard flip over one block, switch tray over the next.
That was insane.
I mean, it's funny because, like, obviously he doesn't get to skate as much as he used to, but, like, dude, he can still just first try, switch tray.
Yep.
And, like,
That's
pop the
amazing.
shit out of it.
So
Yeah, he was known for certain tricks. The 180 fakie 5-0s,
Yeah.
he would do that super good too.
Yeah. Fronts and half cab flips over whatever.
Yeah, over like, I don't know, like,
Hydrants.
yeah.
Yeah.
The frontside half cab flip. Like he just
Parking
he's
gates
so
or
funny,
something?
bro.
Yeah.
Parking gates.
Did like the gates to like a parking lot? They open and close.
Oh,
the
yeah,
the
yeah,
yellow
yeah.
ones. He
Yeah.
did one over that.
Love Luis Cruz, man. So what's going on, man? Everything good? You're working at the border now, which is
Well,
XL.
XL.
Okay.
Yeah.
right,
So, I mean,
but a lot of people don't know
Yeah,
XL,
yeah.
right? They know the border,
Yeah.
but the XL is their kind of other management
Yeah.
style company.
yeah, so it's the border is like the events
Yeah.
side of everything, and that's the stuff that we promote. And XL is obviously the management, but we don't really. I mean, it's not like we have an Instagram. We're not like
Right.
promoting it. We're just behind the scenes helping skaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's important to know is that a lot of outsiders looking in, they don't understand that management part,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you just want the skater to be a skater and skate and not have to worry about so many things that kind of could possibly pop up or enhance their career, enhance their bank account,
Yeah.
you know, which is amazing because this day and age, skateboarding, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
A lot of skaters live check to check, so to have somebody there looking out for you, it's phenomenal. I mean, I wish there was managers in our day that were getting these fucking deals and stuff.
When Ryan approached me about it, I was like, I had seen him doing it, you know, from the side, and we had talked about me working there. And that's when I was still working at Dwindle. But I was just like, looked at what him and George were doing, and I was like, man, it's like, it's people who are from skateboarding that are helping do these things for, you know, helping a skater negotiate with a corporate company like a Red Bull or a Nike
Which is
or somebody.
Yeah.
fucking important.
Yeah, it's super important, and I think sometimes like people look at it as like, and it's funny because I don't. When people ask me what I do, I'm like, well, I guess I'm an agent for professional skateboarders.
Right.
I would say that like I help manage people, but it's super interesting like looking at the landscape of skateboarding and looking at the different personalities of skaters, and you realize, oh, some people don't understand their value. And with us, it's like, I mean, we have from the biggest dudes down to just the guys who can't really even get a contract. You know, we got Shane, we got Ashad, Nakel, Frankie Villani,
Right.
Fabiana. I just started working with Brianna.
Sick.
And then down to like Tyson Bowerbank, you know?
Yeah,
just
yeah.
We just
Who
wanna,
still rips,
Yeah.
but he's not like.
Well-
there's levels to it,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
always like the there's a few at the top that are you
Yeah,
know like
yeah.
the P rods, right? The Target deals and stuff like that. You're like, God,
Yeah, the
damn,
people-
I want to go to Target and shop
Yeah. Probably the best sponsor.
for
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
real.
But yeah, it's super interesting. Everything's been going really good. Ultimately, like me and Ryan and George, like our whole thing is like we want to help skateboarders have the longest possible career, and if you know we can help them make money and we make money too, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if not, we just want to help guide them on the right direction, because it's not always just about like, oh, we want to get you money. It's like sometimes like, you know, I work with some younger kids, like this kid Gavin Botker. He's like
Oh, he's good.
amazing
Yeah.
kid, like just a super awesome, wise beyond his years. He's gonna be 15 soon, but like just a really awesome kid. and we've helped him like go from, certain sponsors to other flow. And then we're looking at his long-term career where it's like, man, this kid could be in it 25, 30 years.
Sure.
And, if it goes down even to like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have that sponsor that doesn't fit well with all these other core sponsors or something like that. We'll give suggestions. Ultimately, it's up to the person.
Yeah.
Like, we'll never be like, you have to do this. It's
Right.
like, do you want to do this? Okay. You do? You don't? Okay, that's fine.
And it's something, some sponsors, they need to align with that person.
Right.
It's like when we had Andy Mack on the show, he was talking about like the Sobeys and for sponsors. It's like he was drinking that stuff. He loves that stuff.
Right.
He loves candy and all that stuff. But he's sober. So like if he had a Miller Lite sponsor, that would be.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Right.
And do you find a lot that like other sponsors don't want they don't want to be affiliated with other sponsors? Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's certain aspects to it. I mean, you could say that there are certain companies that don't want the major energy drink sponsors.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they don't want to be affiliated with that. But ultimately, the way we look at it is like, if over someone's 15 or 20-year career, they can make life-changing money from something. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and they're done skateboarding and they're retired and they have 2 houses and they don't have to work for a living, what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like the credibility, like Ashad, is he taking a hit for skating for Monster? Nah.
Right.
Not at all. He's the god. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those things where you're like, at the end of the day, and then when Ashad's done, when he's 50 and he's doing his thing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is his job.
Yeah.
But it didn't compromise his cred, if you will.
Absolutely,
No, not at
absolutely.
all.
I just like seeing skaters get paid for their hard work.
Right.
And it breaks
Yeah.
my heart when I hear of like other professional skateboarders that are out there grinding and doing it, and they have a second job.
Yeah.
They work at like a grocery store or something just to survive, and they got roommates, and you know what I mean. I'm like, God damn, you're so fucking good.
Yeah.
You should be only skateboarding, And then it breaks my heart too when I hear other outside skaters looking in being like, fuck that, this company's whack, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, man, let's look at the big picture here.
Yeah.
Like your favorite skater is surviving because of them or life-changing money because of them. It's like, let's show a little support here.
Yeah.
Let's get in. Let's.
Well, and I think that there's like a misconception of like how well certain people do or if they deserve to be on this board brand or whatever it is. And it's like skateboarding. I think we all know growing up in it where it's like, it's so fickle. Like you can do one thing that just, you somehow get the bad rap. And then the course of what you could have done is done.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
done. And it's very, very hard to come back from.
Right.
No doubt.
I think that's the thing too, where it's like, we always try to make the right decision for the people. And like your question, Kelly, it's like, there are certain avenues where we would like maybe suggest like, oh, maybe you shouldn't go that route for a certain person that's trying to get on a certain path or brand or whatever it is. There's definitely times where we have to like step in and be like, yeah, maybe this is cool for now, but when you get to like, like for a kid like Gavin or something, if there was a potential sponsor that's like, it doesn't harm them. But then when you get to like 16, 17, 18, then you're like, maybe we should just, you got to keep it, a little bit more aligned with like, he's on Flow for Real and Spitfire and all that stuff. And he was previously on like PAL and Bones and all that stuff. And, I think most people who understand the industry get that. And they're like, okay, yeah, it should be this direction. And, this is his path moving forward. But yeah, it's work's been really good, man.
Sick.
It's super fulfilling to me too, because like I always wanted to be a team manager. I knew it since like 2004 or something like that. But it's in my personality. I want to help people, right? Mm-hmm. And now I get to do it. Just it's very close to team managing, just on a more personal level. So
Interesting.
How do
You don't
you-
got to take them on tours and stuff and drive them.
no, yeah. I don't have to do all the dirty work
For sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
How do you get aligned with like actually working with these people? Because there's just like a couple of you at the border. Do you guys each get assigned like certain people? How does that work?
Well, with Excel, it's it's me, Clements, and George, and we've actually been working with a couple other people. Davison Fortunato.
Oh yeah,
Gabriel's brother. He's been he's working with Felipe Nunez and his brother.
Okay.
So But what we do is we essentially work as like a team, right? So we probably have 35 or 37 clients. I forget exactly the exact number, but we always work together as a team. But then each individual has their set, group of athletes or clients that we work with. So like for me, it's Fabiana, Frankie Villani, Breezy, Gavin, Jake Wooten, Yuto. There's like I have like my 12 or so people. And then the way that we end up working with people is it'll usually just be like word of mouth. Like we're not going out recruiting people. Sometimes I will. Like I just recently started talking to that kid Akwasi. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So super awesome dude. Very interesting, different dynamic for a guy like that. Like he's a model, and he does art and he does all this stuff. So like when I first started, and we give him small wheels. That's the connection, right? And so when we approach someone, it's just like we would love to like talk and see if we can help you, and when we work with people, it's usually only if we can significantly increase their income, because ultimately I don't want to be like taking the money from some dude who's already getting what his max is. Like I'm not just going to come in and try to take 15% of a dude who's making 30 or 40 grand a year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if I can like double that, then it's worth it, and we can sign, and then we can get our commission and all that stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, it's an interesting thing. A lot of it will be kind of word of mouth, and then some of it was from like obviously previous relationships that I had, like Yuri Fakini. So I started working with Yuri recently. I tried to work with him a few years ago. He had a Nike deal. He ended up, reaching out to me, and I was speaking with the people at Nike and trying to get him an increase, because I feel like he was totally undervalued. Because we understand the values.
Sure.
That's the toughest thing to place people, like what are they worth? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then so that there's some stuff ended up happening, and the people at Nike basically said, if you don't sign the contract now, we're going to pull it. And so he had to sign that contract. It was a 2-year contract. And it was just like, and then so it was up. And then I went back and I started working with him again. And I was like, hey, if I can help you, I'm down to sign you or whatever. And then I started talking with people at Nike again, and it was, they were going to give him a contract, but it was just the same as the last one.
Okay.
So it was just one of those things where I was like, yeah, maybe there's something. And then an opportunity happened, and we had some conversations with someone, and we ended up getting him significantly more than he was going to get from Nike.
Amazing.
StockX.
Yes.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah.
And it's interesting reading the StockX contract. It's like, obviously, like when you ride for like a Nike or a Vans or something like that, their competition is other footwear and apparel brands. StockX, it's Flight Club, Marshall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Big
it's
box
just
store,
it's resale stuff.
Yeah.
It's resale, so or retail, if you
Right.
will.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's super gratifying, because obviously I've known Yuri since he was like a little kid. We were on Blind together, and then I helped him transition to Almost when I was at Dwindle, and now I get to work with him in this capacity, and it's super gratifying.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
you're helping him out, man.
Definitely.
That's
Dude,
I
that's
love
awesome.
that, bro.
Yeah.
I love that.
Dude, how crazy is that? People could ride for stock, like they're on Nike, and then they go to StockX to get paid more, and they still wear Nike.
I know, right?
They can wear anything they want.
Yeah.
But they usually fucking wear Nike,
Yeah,
though.
no
You
doubt.
know what I mean?
For
Like,
sure.
But yeah, Casper's over there now,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's the
man.
one who's like
Yeah.
doing all that stuff, and it's
Amazing.
and there's some really interesting potential for some other bigger things that are possibly going to happen in 2022.
Sick.
I
Wow.
think if anybody looked at social media, they would probably understand what it could be. It's like a very close thing,
Pancakes.
possibly.
I see a lot of I love pancakes. Yeah.
what?
Has a little left.
Oh man!
Episode brought to you by IHOP.
Listen, the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, you pulled that one from way back.
Well, listen. This is what I do.
Yeah.
It's amazing though. I love that, and I love. It's just again, skaters supporting skaters.
You already know.
And I just I like seeing success.
Yeah,
amongst
for sure.
our peers.
Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get that success when I was skating. I didn't get. I was one of those guys that were just kind of like, I wasn't I was on the same teams as them, but Mark Johnson's, Kenny Anderson's, these guys. But I was like, I always felt like I was a supporting cast, I'd come in off the bench, do my shit, and be a part of the team. You know what I'm saying?
We were like the Carusos, because I
There you
feel
go.
like I'm the same way.
Right.
You come in, you give your effort, contribute to the team, but you're not the marquee. You're not on the marquee.
Right. Which was fine.
Yeah.
But, I just... It's nice to see skaters getting their due,
Yeah.
and that's why I said it breaks my heart when I don't see that.
Yep.
And there's a skater out there who's just, I'm like, yo, you work at Marshall? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you gotta, this is crazy to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
you
half
know?
of it's like your connections. You know what I mean? It's not all just how talented you are.
But it's
Yeah.
also just shows how kind of the industry, right? The industry is a wave, right? It goes up, it goes down, and these skate companies, man, they're not the Lakers. They're not,
Yeah.
they don't have money.
Nope.
And it, like I said, it fluctuates so drastically that I couldn't even imagine being a girl or a chocolate or one of these big companies that can try to like ride that wave,
Yeah.
and sustain.
Yeah, to stay
I mean,
consistent.
you get to a big point and you got a building, you got employees, you got this and that, and then skateboarding takes a dip, and you're like, huh. And the little guys are like, oh, this is cool, like whatever, we'll just ride the wave and whatever.
Well, it's
but-
kind of like that analogy too of like the big boat versus the small boat.
Sure.
The little companies can maneuver
Fast,
Easy.
You know?
Yeah.
The big ones, it's a slow moving ship.
Right.
So like when things change, like we know how it happens in skateboarding,
Oh, man.
but it's so much harder to like adjust for those brands. And I do think that's like the most difficult thing for brands. I mean, I've noticed it probably over the last 10 or 15 years, but like from like the late 90s into the early 2000s when the explosion happened in skateboarding, like everybody was doing good, right?
Yeah.
And then as things slowly start to change, those companies became so big that they didn't know how to adjust. And then like, probably 5 or 6 years ago, when you have like these smaller brands like FA that come in and all of a sudden they're dictating what
huge.
is like the cool stuff.
And how it's
Whereas like
done.
whereas like in like 95, 96, 97 it was Girl Chocolate.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And even Blind, like 92, 93, like when Jake Rosenberg was on and you guys were talking about like why you were such a Blind fan, it's like, video days and the promotional video for me was
Yes.
like my
Game over.
mecca,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
for
Like,
sure.
and then, obviously those things, like a brand like Blind, it's changed so much from what it was, but it does make me happy that there are certain people that are in those places that might not have had an opportunity somewhere else.
Yeah.
But then they get that opportunity.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like for me, I'm super happy to be able to like help people and help guide them. And, for what I tell a lot of my clients is like, this is like a relationship. This isn't just like, I mean, obviously I work for the client, right? But I also want to understand what they want to accomplish, what they want to achieve, so that I can help them in the best way I know to get there. Because fortunately for me, I've been through it. I did the whole AM Pro thing.
Yep.
Then I was a team manager. So I've seen so many different sides of the industry that I feel like I can give pretty sound advice.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I mean, as soon as you go through it,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
your opinion is validated.
Yeah. Because it's like I look back at even my career where it's like, I left DVS for Circa,
Right.
and Gavin has never let me forget that.
I'm sure.
Ever.
I'm sure.
Ever.
He brings it up every time he sees it.
Yeah. But it's like, and like I look back and it's like 9 times out of 10, I'd probably do the same thing because the potential of Circa, it's like Jamie Thomas, Muska.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
totally.
Like, I was one of probably like the first 5 people. And then after, I got hurt and all this stuff, like I did my ACL and things changed. And now I look back and it's like, if I would have stayed on DVS, I would have been on DVS for 10 or 15 years.
Right.
Until, whatever it was done. So, it's, hopefully you can help someone make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Will they listen?
Yeah.
Hopefully they will take advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Well, and that's the thing too, is we've been very, we've kind of taken a different approach now too, is like, we like to look at the people who we feel like we can work well with, because just taking on clients because you could make money, sometimes it doesn't necessarily work. You know, maybe they have different aspirations or they want different stuff, because most of the stuff we do is more in endemic skateboarding.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll reach out, people will reach out, and then, you know, we can have a conversation with like you know, somebody's outside of skateboarding, and we can get deals for people, you know. But for the most part, like, we don't chase that stuff. Like, we're not going to like Toyota or Walmart or Target, saying, hey, we have this guy. Do you want to sponsor him? This is his, you know, resume.
Yeah.
It's like, for the most part, it's within, you know, the core skateboarding. And obviously with social media, people get hit up by random things and stuff like that. Like, I helped, like, that kid Jake Wooten I work with. He's super awesome kid. This kid's super rad. But like, he's from Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where Journeys is from. And they hit him up they hit him up to do like a social media campaign for back to school. And it ended up being like, he did a couple posts on Instagram, and then he just has like a link in his bio to, you know, their website or whatever. And it was a pretty significant deal for a kid like that. Like,
Sick.
I was like,
Amazing.
it was just one of those things. And then interestingly enough, probably 2 weeks ago, they hit me up again. They're like, hey, we want to do a holiday campaign with Jake. And it's going to be pretty much for the same amount of money. But like, a kid like that who doesn't necessarily make a lot of money off skateboarding, enough to like live and stuff like that. But like, these little side deals are like, they're super important.
That's the beautiful part
Wow,
about
I
it.
love
And that's
that.
the thing that we could all get excited about, is like, that is fucking amazing, you know? It's the other percent that are like, Jake, what is this journey? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you're just
definitely.
like, yo, dude. It just frustrates me.
For
You
sure.
know,
I don't
when
think it
I see
hap-
comments and stuff like that.
I don't think it happens as much as it used to. Back in the day when drink sponsors came around, it was huge.
Oh,
I
bro,
think-
fucking Andy Mack. He
Yeah.
was like the first dude with the drink sponsor, and
So
he got
big.
ridiculed for it.
Yeah.
Now look at everybody.
And he
They're
was-
out there hunting for it.
He was drinking them already, and Sylvia was from like New England area.
There you go.
So
See?
It all
It
made
makes
sense
sense.
for them, for
Yeah.
sure.
But I understand it doesn't happen as much anymore. But
Yeah.
it happens.
Yes, it
you
does.
see it, sell out,
Yeah.
whatever, and you're like,
It's just amplified now because everyone has social media.
this is true. This
Yeah.
is true.
Dude, when I see skaters just doing the blatant rock star ads, I'm like,
Right.
there you go, dude.
You
Make the
see?
money, dude.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because some people do it differently than others.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know,
Look at Leticia.
yeah.
So perfect, beautiful
She's living
social
a rock star
media.
life.
Great example.
Like, she integrates all of her stuff so naturally. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, I watch her stories all the time. Like, I see where she's out on her little ski-doo or sea-doo, whatever it's
Sea-doo.
called. Yeah, I'm trying to get sponsored by
Sea-doo,
them, by
yeah.
the way, if you have a contact. But, you know, it's just like,
James, get on that.
but then some people just are pros. They just know how to do it.
Yeah.
You're like, wow. That's
She killed
amazing.
it. She just had the Trojan one. I was like, this is
The
left field,
Trojan?
but she
Yeah.
made it work.
She's up at
Straight
car companies doing shit, like skating through their factory. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, Leticia.
I think
bro.
that a lot of that comes through Red Bull and their connections. Too,
That's
though.
fine.
That's
you
true.
know.
Yeah, I mean,
More power to her.
It's funny, the Trojan one, they approached one of our clients for that
Oh, really?
before her, yeah.
Oh, really?
Or maybe it was at the same time, I don't know. But
Was it a male or a female?
male.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. Okay.
And
But
they,
like-
they politely said, I'll
we,
pass.
we politely declined.
Right.
That's what I always say. When we turn something down, politely decline. Thank you. We appreciate
so
you guys reaching out and offering us this. So
But it's so funny though, because like we had Leticia on the show, and I asked her about the Trojan thing, you know, and she
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I mean, listen, like people out there they have sex, and like STDs are on the rise, and
Yeah.
like let's bring awareness to, you know, protected
For sure.
intercourse,
Yeah,
you know, and
100%.
it's
she
like."
stood by her shit. Straight
Yeah.
up.
And that's why I'm like, that's fucking amazing. You
Yeah.
know, you're not just going like you believe in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
well, and there's like a reason for it. It's not
Sure.
like it's some super bad thing or like something that you should like
a prophylactic.
shun.
Not at all, not
you know
at
what I
all.
mean? You make it more acceptable.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
It's a prophylactic.
Sad would have been the perfect dude.
no time for slipping.
Time for slipping.
Jay Stevens.
So
Best.
good.
But I love it. I love that you guys are out there helping people and guiding them and helping them make some money in this industry.
Yeah.
Because, like, again, we talk about it all the time, but the skateboard industry is very difficult to navigate and to make a decent living off of.
100%. Yeah,
It is grueling, man.
It's an interesting ratio because we've all done it. We understand, like, you can like look at a guy and be like, he's probably living check to check.
Sure.
And then there's some dudes where you're like, he's killing it, she's killing it. Like, it's like you totally know it. And then there's like kind of a weird gray area where you're like, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. 'Cause I mean, I know what board companies pay, and I know what hard goods and stuff like that is not that much.
Yeah.
And the general public doesn't understand that because they see the guys in the magazines and the videos, and they're like, oh, they're obviously making a living.
Yeah.
And it's like it's really not that easy.
They assume the most.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Yeah. And plus, that's the thing with social media. You can make yourself look big.
Yeah.
With a lot of money easily.
Yeah.
And there are companies out there that are smaller companies, but they look big.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, these dudes are like, people may look at us, and be like, the 9 Club, man,
Killing
holy
it.
shit, they must be fucking million. Where's their Ferrari? And you're
We
just
have
like,
one employee.
yeah, it's like it's tough even for us
For sure.
to like navigate and like, we want to bring in the bigger, like the outside sponsors because we want to support skateboarding. We want to support these companies. We want the companies to pay the skaters more. So we're going to try to go out and get money from this guy over here so that we don't have to take money from
The small
X
brands,
company that doesn't have the money, but they want to fuck with us.
Yeah.
We want to be able to be like, yeah, we fuck with you. How much do you want? Nothing.
Nothing.
Come on in.
Yeah.
Whatever you need. We got you.
Yeah.
Right.
But we are
Product for raffles.
yeah, we are a small company podcast. But so every dollar that comes in here is like it goes so far.
For sure.
So it's like it's hard when a smaller company wants to pay us to do something. We're like, yeah, we'll take, but like, come on, big boy, like, look, come on,
Yeah.
So it's an interesting like battle, and people will be like, why are these guys doing DraftKings reads in their fucking experience show? And I'm like, well, listen, sometimes,
Everyone's bet on something.
but at the same time, we're like, sometimes, not all the time, but you got to take a little from the outside to keep this afloat and to try to help skateboarding and other companies.
Yeah.
By
That's
supporting
the ultimate
them.
goal for us.
Yeah.
It's not like skateboarders don't gamble. Like
Yeah.
it makes
Right.
it makes sense.
those ads are in
James
all
is here. Gambling.
They're in all the podcasts, dude.
Well, we do the
Let us
live.
live.
We do it live. We did them live on the experience show, right?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, about DraftKings and this and that. You'll see a few comments, and I commented back on one of them. I'm like, hey, listen, like, kind of broke it down. I'm like, skate companies don't have money. It's hard for us. Like, we don't do it all the time, but once in a while, we take a left field, we put it in there because, like, bro, we've grown over 5 years, and it is expensive to do this show.
Yeah. And
It's fucking not.
Electronics are not cheap.
It's not a joke.
If people could see what I'm looking at and like what it was when I first came here, it's you have to do that.
And
You
that's
have
just the
to.
evolution,
Yeah.
right?
and
like
those DraftKings reads and whatever else, that's what's paying for all this stuff.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
but at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to explain yourself on how you guys are making money. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
To some guy that's just spewing off a little random comment.
But you know what though? Sometimes, listen, if it's a complete dick comment,
Yeah.
I won't. But if it's a comment that's kind of endearing, like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't understand. Like, why is this
Yeah.
draft?
Okay, from that standpoint, I
you
can-
know what I mean?
okay.
So I'll just throw a little bit, like, okay, let me just try to explain. I hate comments.
Yeah.
I don't fucking read them. I don't reply to them hardly ever.
I love
But
the good
sometimes
ones. The good ones are good.
The good ones are great.
Leave that
No.
below.
but it's just those ones where I'm like, let me just kind of give them a little bit of insight.
Yeah.
It's like, this is expensive to run. We're
Makes sense.
trying to do it. It's like, we want to support skate companies. We don't want to take money out of skateboarding.
Exactly.
We want to take money out of the world, these bigger brands.
Yep.
We want skate companies to pay skaters more money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you guys have created a unique platform where it's like, these things didn't exist. Before it was just,
Right.
the
Yeah.
videos and the magazines, and then obviously social media happened, but like you guys are creating a different platform to help skateboarders.
Right.
And I think, a lot of people don't understand that sometimes you just need something else to help,
Propel it.
keep things afloat so that you can actually give back to skateboarders and skateboarding and like help foster it. And it's like, I mean, I obviously commend you guys for doing what you guys have done, because it's like, for me, I'm just like a fan. Where it's like, I love skateboarding so much that when I get to see like the Jake Rosenberg thing, I'm like geeking out so hard. And like him sitting with Dubs talking about the old days, like filming, it's like, for me, that's so entertaining. And the fact that, you know, a DraftKings or whatever else could maybe, you know, have another one of those guys on.
Right.
It's worth it to me.
Yeah.
And a lot of people outside of like being in the industry, they're just skateboarders and they see skateboarding and we want it core and this is our thing and we can't go there. And it's like, it's not our thing. It's everybody's if they want it. You know what I mean? Like, and I get the core thing. Like, you know, we all grew up when people hated us. Like we were.
You want to be core? Go to your local skate shop, buy a fucking skate
exactly
board from a
and
skate around.
Yeah, and if you do really like that pro, go buy his stuff. Support his company, whatever it is. You know,
right?
And like, you know,
don't go looking for a deal.
No, no. Yeah, you're getting blank boards on
Amazon.
And then complaining.
You're not helping.
And then you're complaining.
Exactly.
Definitely not helping.
Exactly. So it's an interesting.
We're not
thing.
talking to everybody out there, but you know who you are that you're talking to.
No, there's some of them.
Yeah,
They don't even know who they are.
They probably.
They're still trying to figure out themselves.
Yeah.
It's funny because you see that most of the older people understand it better.
Yes.
The kids and like the kind of naive people, they kind of are just like, well, how come you don't do it like core?
Yeah,
and
or
like,
the in between.
Dude, the amount of like our old buddies that are just like they're buying boards because it's their favorite pro and now hanging them on their walls and everything. Like, there's so many skateboards just that are on walls now. More on walls than on their feet, probably.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because those people they have jobs. They're probably not going through a board every month.
Yeah.
But they want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're they're fans.
Yeah.
If they're hanging on the wall, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No
That's
doubt.
huge.
No, it's an interesting thing. I wish we could like, and it's nice to talk about it, you
Yeah.
know, with you. I mean, we're on the topic. This isn't about us, but it's an interesting try to navigate this. And going back to the podcast thing, we're not the first podcast. We certainly won't be the last podcast. But for some reason, we kind of took it and ran with it, you know, and so now it's like we're trying to navigate without having somebody else to call and talk to.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how did you guys do this? You have that sponsor. Hey, maybe we can work, you know, like, oh, maybe this, like, we don't have that.
Right.
We can't call, I can call Raj.
Yeah.
He can call me. We don't have somebody
I can call
in
James.
our, we don't have somebody, another big podcast that we could be like, dude, how did we do? Okay, you did that. Oh shit, you know, we don't,
Yeah.
you know, and now we have other podcasts coming
to
up,
you.
and we're, bro, I help out a lot of people, you know,
Right.
how do we do the Joe Face, Erica Yari was doing one, like,
Jimmy Thomas.
yeah, people hit me, Jamie Thomas, somebody else was hitting me up just recently, big guy, you know, and I'm like, I'll help you no matter what. We've been there, we've done that. What do you need? You need microphones, you need this, you need that. Like, let me know. I'll put together a list. Like, this is not easy.
Right.
It's fucking difficult, bro.
I mean, it's, you even look at like, you know, in the comedy world, like what Rogan started.
Yeah.
And then like his thing was like to have all these other people on and he would tell everyone, you need to do a podcast, you need to do a podcast. And he would help them promote it.
Yeah. Right.
Because it's like, ultimately, like we want to see all of this grow, you know?
I love seeing success.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking great. And the people are always, you know, oh, the bun, oh, the 9 Club, oh, I'm like, you guys, maybe that's in your own head. Like,
100%.
Dude, if there
the
were-
bun is great, and I don't have anything to say about, like, the more the merrier, man. Come on, let's come in and celebrate skateboarding. Let's do this.
Think about if skateboarders had more outlets to go on and talk about things, right? There's only 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the comedians, they go to everyone's podcast. That's how they get big. That's how they get new people looking at them.
Yep.
And skateboarding is only this and the bun.
Yeah.
There's
a few
couple.
others.
There's other ones.
No,
There's other ones,
no
for
offense to
sure.
anyone I didn't mention, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the more the merrier, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because that's what, you know, ultimately like the comedians, like I got super into it just like watching Rogan and then like, you know, we were just talking about Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino but this is how those guys build their audiences so that when they go on tour, they're going to sell out because the people who are invested in them and their personality and like, because they talk about their lives and, you know, there's a little bit more to it than just like, oh, he tells jokes and he's funny. You're like, oh, you're a little bit more invested in like wanting to go see that person, you know? And it's like, I would imagine that would also help here. Like when you see someone, you're like, oh, I like that dude. I want to support what he's doing. Go buy Small Wheels. So it's just one of those things that I think it's really awesome. And then obviously for like someone like me, being 3 decades deep into skateboarding, like when I get to see, like when Jake was on, I was like, oh man, like this was the dude who was filming the things that shaped me, and like, and I could see it, and I could see it like when you were talking to him, you're like, oh, this is like my era.
Oh my
you know
God.
what I mean? Like, so it's really cool the fact that you guys get to do this, and then if you have to, I mean, let's have somebody else help pay for it, because you want to keep skateboarding. The money in skateboarding, stay in skateboarding.
And that's what we're essentially trying to do.
Right.
You know, I mean, like NHS supports us big time.
Right.
You know, it's like we do take money from skateboarding, but they're more than willing. You know, we want to support. We love what you guys are doing. Like just put our shit in the background. Here's some, you know what I mean? Like Dickies was a huge thing. Like
now we're
Joe
working with
Face.
Parade World.
Parade World.
Yeah.
And that's like the ultimate help in skateboarding.
Right.
Bro.
That whole model is awesome because they're driving people to
the
skate shops.
shops.
Yeah. It's not like they're taking
He's
it.
like, I need to find this, Frank Gerwer board, whatever. My local shop doesn't have it. I need it. I want it. I can only skate that. And then you basically go online. They'll give you like, oh, here you go. It's in a shop in Des Moines or whatever. They'll send
And
it
then
out.
the Des Moines, and then you place the order on Parade World / the 9 Club, and because you get free shipping.
Ooh.
And then that local skate shop sends it out.
Yeah.
So it's coming from the skate shop. So it's just like an Amazon essentially for skate shops to post their shit.
That's pretty awesome too, because if you think about it, like, mail orders were like a thing for a while.
Yeah.
And then it was always like, oh, we want to help the local shop too. And it's like Parade World is like, they're basically like, hey, we're going to drive the sales to you.
Yeah.
You don't have the ability to have a website, shipping and all that stuff. Like, we'll take care of it. You guys just ship it out.
Yeah.
So.
Amazing
Yeah,
concept.
I love it. I love, like we were going back to, seeing people succeed, the podcast realm in skateboarding, growing and stuff like that. But also the comedians, they have the Theo Vaughn, and all they have them, and they go around and support. And dude, all the time I get like, you got to go do. You should do more podcasts, Chris. I'm like, what?
We need
What podcast am I going to go do?
There's not a lot.
Like, I don't understand. Wait.
I do Adam 22.
Didn't
I know.
Ooh.
Actually, I don't know.
I mean, what
that'd
did
be
we-
amazing.
That's a little outside of the realm.
Doesn't he only do rappers and shit?
No.
He's had
Okay.
skaters
He's had
on.
skaters
Yeah,
on.
Oh, yeah,
definitely,
yeah. I'm tripping.
Because I don't know though.
He's like a BMXer or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pro BMXer, but
His podcast got huge, or show got
it's
huge.
it's off the
Shit is
charts.
nuts.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's off
Yeah.
the charts. We DM back and forth, Adam and me. He's great. He's
Yeah.
great. But and he's killing it, which is
he
fucking
definitely
incredible. But it's just those things where I'm like, where am I gonna go? What podcast am I?
Didn't you just
like,
do a
I did
podcast?
the bomb hole, and that was super fun. I mean, it's in Utah.
Oh,
because
wow.
I was out there for Street League, but it was so awesome to be on the other side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
And you're
But,
speaking to a whole new audience.
Totally.
Yeah,
right.
And
That's
I get a lot of response from that. And
Yeah.
it was, I always trip out like when people come here, kind of having that same feeling as the guest has here, right?
right.
When they leave here, they're like, oh, I got a good response from
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
So, but I wish there was more of those around for us to go tell our stories.
Yeah.
People can get to know us better, you know?
For sure.
All right, I'm starting a podcast.
And that's a funny,
how it starts.
bro. That's a funny thing. Is like, well, I want people to like. Jamie Thomas started his own podcast, right? I thought that was amazing. You know, he called me up and was like, "Hey, listen, I came on your show. You're the reason why I'm starting this. It's such a fucking great." But a lot of them don't last because it's
work.
not easy.
It takes a lot.
When you start it, it's a full-time job. Like, get ready to work.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally nonstop,
Yeah.
especially if you're all in.
Yeah.
You know, and you want it to work, and you're trying to gain those followers and gain those subscribers and gain that community. You need to be putting out stuff like every week.
I mean, if
know.
you
Consistency is key.
if
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
walked in here, it took over the house. Like, you know what I
Literally.
mean?
They
Like,
pushed Kelly and I out of here.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. This
Yeah.
is just a studio now.
Oh yeah,
but
Kareem's doing one too.
Kareem,
Yeah.
thank you. The Ghetto Bird
Forgot
show.
about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And every
Yeah.
podcast
So
is
good.
different. You can just do it by yourself. I love it when the comedians they're funny as hell.
Dalia.
Chris D'Elia, he'll sit there and just talk.
You know what the funny thing is Andrew Huberman does the same thing.
Yeah.
He'll sit there and just talk to the camera for 2.5 hours. I'm like, you are the man, dude. I don't
Straight
know
up.
how I can imagine sitting here and be like, Yes, the kickflip back tail was incredible, and you gotta, we work at the switch.
Should we try
I'm like,
that?
what?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I
I'm more of a conversationalist. Like
Yeah.
I can't be sitting there
I
talking. to
randomly
myself.
saw it's like a guy who's doing that, but he's like he's going over like news and skateboarding. Like somehow.
Oh, I saw that too. Actually,
where he was talking about
Gifted hater?
Barra.
the gifted hater.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
it.
that kid.
It's
He's
super
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
super
great.
interesting because it's
Haven't
like
seen that.
He's good.
Yeah.
like
He stirs it up a little bit, which is nice. He stirs the pot. And
when I watched it, I was like, this dude has to go on Slap. Like he's one of those dudes where people think like Slap's like just haters, but it's like no, there's people who are so into it and that like have they're smart guys. They have an opinion, and then they will kind of explain it in a proper way.
Yeah,
when
that's
you
what I like
don't
about
get
him.
bummed out about
That's what I like about him. He's not just sitting there like, fuck that dude. This is what.
Yeah.
He's actually like providing information and doing it in a nice way.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
check it out.
I don't watch every show that he does, but I'll pop it on once
He
in a while.
called you out, I think, like 2 weeks ago.
What do you say?
It was when you said AM shouldn't get paid.
Oh, fuck that dude. You know what's funny about that is sometimes doing these interviews, it's like we sit here for a long time. I do work behind the scenes. It's a gnarly show, and sometimes I just sit here and just spew stuff just to talk.
Sure.
And I don't even remember what I said. And then I'll see it later. Somebody will post something and be like, oh, this guy doesn't think AM should be paid or whatever. And I'm like, oh, man, that came out fully wrong.
Right.
Like, I didn't mean it like that. Like, I got paid as an AM. I think that skaters should be paid.
The definition of an AM is like, you don't get paid.
Right. Right. But
Where it gets when people they should start getting paid when their company, whatever, is now asking them to do services for them.
Yeah.
Then they should be compensated for it.
And I think
Yeah.
that another thing that happens too on the show is like you'll say something to try to like devil's advocate it.
Right.
But then the guest will start talking and he'll take over the conversation and maybe he'll lead the conversation in another way. And you'll be like, oh man, I didn't even get to like
Finish that thought.
finish my thought when you're saying like, oh, maybe they shouldn't get paid, and then people are like, what? He thinks that they shouldn't get paid. And I'm like, no, that's not what I think. It just came out wrong and the conversation shifted and I forgot my thought.
Well,
because there's a lot of shit that goes into this, man.
Well, yeah.
I drink fucking so much coffee. I try to, before the show, I was like, dude, I have to drink coffee. Like I if not, I'll just be sitting here like ADD. I can't focus,
Well, and a lot of the times, like when you're having just a conversation with 5 people, like sometimes you just have a different thought in
Right.
your brain. Like something led you down that
Chris is eating about
path.
pancakes right now.
Yeah, he pulled out
He did pull
Rudy
that.
Tooty Fresh and Fruity, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if he calls me out on that, that's fine. Like whatever, he has
Yeah.
an opinion, but it's just not. It just didn't come out right, and I
Right.
just didn't get to finish my thought. If I remember it correctly, because I almost what was that TJ Rogers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh God, I don't. But you know what though?
What was your justification on that then?
What do you mean?
AM shouldn't get paid. What were you going to finish that somehow?
No. I think, and I don't remember it to the T.
Yeah.
But I do believe that AM should be paid. I was paid as an AM.
Yeah.
I think skaters should be paid. But it was something, I think I was like playing devil's advocate. And to Roger's point too, it was like the definition of an AM and the definition of a pro.
Right.
There's like a separation there or
Yeah.
something. So I think I was like trying to start to say something, but I just didn't get to like finish it.
Yeah.
And I got to go
Okay.
back and watch it because I could be totally off on that. But that being said, we make a mistake, we say something, but what am I going to do? Retract it? And then like, we're just moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
can't be bothered
Nah.
with thinking about, oh, I said that during TJ Rogers' episode. Oh, fuck, man. Like it's 3 weeks later, man. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I can't.
Well, and think
you know
about,
what I mean? I
think-
can't.
just think about how many hours you've talked about skateboarding and skateboarders' lives and all that
Right.
stuff.
Go and find the clip where I said
Yeah.
that AM should be paid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just it's kind of a funny position to be in, right?
Yeah.
I see the criticisms and stuff like that, and I'm like,
For sure.
I can't be bothered.
No.
I just can't.
can't let
It's
it
like
bother you.
fuck. I said something. Yeah, man. I just
You're like, that's fine.
it is what it
like,
is.
You're like, okay, cool.
It is
Whatever.
what it
We're
is.
moving on to the next one.
we're here with James Craig now. It's
Who?
it's 4
Who?
weeks later.
Yeah. No, the TJ one was really
Oh,
good.
he's so good.
Yeah.
He's
And it's
so
funny
good.
because I like knew like his story growing up and stuff, and it's like, I mean, it's really rad to see a kid like that be able to like let people know like what he came from.
Yeah.
It's
very
super
important
gnarly.
too.
Yeah.
It's important.
I had no
man.
idea.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
Yeah.
That's
Great
what
story.
the podcast is important for the people to understand that.
100%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah,
We have
1,000%.
we have guests that come on, especially early on. I think this was happening a lot where we'd get the comments be like, I did not like this dude. Now I fucking love him.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think early on that was happening a lot, right, Raj?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people didn't, they never got to speak their story.
Yeah.
So we were the first
Dude,
place.
Sierra Feller's story is amazing.
Bro, seriously.
Like, go watch that episode. That episode's incredible.
And I love that. I love that that person could come on our show and gain a fan
Yeah.
who really wasn't a fan of him. Because listen, we're all opinionated fucking assholes sometimes. You know, we get it.
skateboarders. That's
Yeah,
what
you
they
know what I
do.
mean? Like, but I love
by nature.
But I love that we can like change that and be like, that dude is fucking sick. There's times when I may not know somebody like extremely well that comes on the show. I mean, I'm a fan. I know their shit,
Yeah.
but like, I am a super fan after they leave.
Right.
I'm like,
Cab.
this fucking
Yeah,
man. Who?
yeah. When you give context to like just what you've seen, then it's like, oh, okay, like this makes sense. Like TJ is one of those guys where he's, if you've ever met him, like super hyped all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once you get to know him and understand, it's like, oh, there's a reason for that. Like he's just grateful to be where he's at, and it's super
Totally.
rad to see. Then it's
Yeah.
just like, and I've known TJ forever. You know, when he first got on Blind, and it's like understanding that scenario, I was like, oh man, I want the best for this kid.
Yeah.
And then to see that, and you know, it was a really good feeling.
A lot of the times we just get judged for our skateboarding.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get judged as a person. We don't get judged as anything else. We get judged as what he's wearing,
Yeah.
what he looks like on his board, how
song,
he does a trick.
That song was whack. And you're
That
like,
song was whack.
What?
Right, right,
And
right.
You probably had no control
Yeah.
over it because Socrates
No.
put it on there.
Yeah. Well, and nowadays, like, you just can't put anything on YouTube where it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, Thrasher wants to monetize it. You're going to get some
Yeah.
suspect song. That's just really what it comes down to.
Let me know if Gifted Hater talks shit about me more. I'd love to watch it. You know, I'm going to go back and watch that. You know. But I'd love to go back and see the TJ Rogers again and see exactly what I said. It's interesting. Huh. Again, we just talk, man. We fucking talk, bro. You know?
I feel you.
It was nothing.
Just like, I know, you know
No,
what I mean?
it was really nothing.
No.
Right.
I feel like sometimes you'll say, or we say something, we don't even realize that we say it either.
100%.
It just like flows out, and you're like,
Right.
What?
What?
I said
You know
that?
what? Because
What are you talking-
sometimes, like, when you talk for a couple hours and, like, what people don't realize, too, at home, like, sometimes there's, like, weird gaps and weird, like, pauses and stuff. And we'll just say something to, like, fill in the pause or,
Right.
like, make it not really. It's kind of an interesting thing. Like, conversation is interesting.
It's a weird dynamic because you're also like, you want to move the show in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like, this is the same thing that happened last time we were here. But even like right now, I'm kind of getting in that zone of like, I'm just talking with my guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
then like sometimes you just will say something and you're like, oh, oops.
Yeah.
Can you cut that out?
It happens a lot.
Because that's just what we've done for 20, 30 years. That's just what we do.
Most of the time, those are like just dumb little things. Like, oh, I got that person's name wrong, or I forgot somebody, or
Right.
like,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The
Or-
guests
those
usually have
little
a problem
things.
with that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
guests
Oh,
will
like,
like,
the dates, like the dates
Yeah.
when things
oh,
happen.
dude, can you remove that part? I fucked up.
But believe me, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Like it's all
It
good.
actually does it. I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
times where it's just like that thing we were talking about, the AM's getting. There's so many times where I'm like sitting here being like, God, that was fucking stupid. I said that. But I'm not going to call Tim and be like, yo, Tim, you got to take that out, man. I said something stupid. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah.
It's like, if I said something stupid, I said something stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm on to the next episode sitting with James Craig.
We're humans.
Like, I don't care.
We're humans.
Yeah, I mean-
you know what I mean?
Early,
It's-
early on when we started doing the show, whatever, I would remove things I'd said.
See,
all the time.
I know. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember
I just
I would
like-
edit it and I'd be like, Raj took that out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know?
You know-
But that was in the beginning though,
Yeah.
where we were
It's
really
just insecurity, too.
We were insecure.
Right. Yeah.
We were self-conscious. You know, we were really trying to edit the show to make everybody look good.
Yeah.
Now we just kind of, it's literally.
Now it's on you.
No, but it's literally what people watch on TV or listen to is the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really cut anything out.
I think that's I
Watch
like
our
that.
experience show
I
live on Sunday.
Yeah,
It's live, yeah.
I like that. I like that better though because it's like you just want to see, you know, the good, bad, ugly, whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, you can't
exactly.
just paint everyone in the most amazing light. It just, people are people.
Wait for
Like,
the train to
humans.
wreck.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Sometimes it'll happen.
Sometimes, what was it for experience show? You'll put the cover pages and you'll put one of us in there. There was like the most jacked photo of me that you used on there.
Oh, my bad.
And I like literally, the old me would have been like, yo, Chris, you got to take that down. Like, I'm just like, awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
It was just like this. I feel like, or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, awesome. Fuck it.
Bro, I wake up.
It's a funny photo, though.
Bro,
Yeah,
I wake up in the morning and I fucking sitting there having my coffee, trying to do a cover page, and I'm like, God damn it.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like done.
I think I was like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, I'm gonna use that as a cover page.
That's the next one.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
the next
I
one.
think I remember seeing it, but it's like sometimes you just gotta mix it up a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
can't always be perfect.
I think
Yeah.
I think the insecurity goes away after a certain point.
Yeah.
Like Kelly used to be really kind of insecure or curious of what I was going to put as title at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And that kind of went away too.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
just
you
don't
can put
give a
like,
fuck.
I don't care what you put on there.
Because
You
like,
Janitor.
today is just funny.
just put, worst dude ever.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
that.
funny. It's just like something that maybe a lot of people don't
You don't
know
do
that
too.
I changed his title.
little inside joke.
You know, and then the people that do know are like,
Start
they
to catch
watch the
on.
credits to see what his
What the
title
title's
is.
gonna
be.
You know,
Yeah.
That would be funny though, Chris, if you did the experience cover page. We all every photo you put was like a fucked up
Fucked up
photo.
photo.
Because
Yeah.
it'd probably get more likes and
Yeah.
probably spread more.
well, yeah.
You'll get some comments
this
in
one.
there for sure.
They just start to they start to end up as memes. Like they just
my
become
God.
memes.
perfect.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
It just spreads the message.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like things aren't perfect.
Well,
so
it's
don't
like
pretend that they are.
It's funny. I'll probably get comments for this, but I'm not like a huge fan of PewDiePie. But I'll watch some of his
Yeah.
videos because he's funny from time to time, and like his cover pages are like his face, but they're like smudged and like really drawn out, and
Yeah.
like one will be a little worse, and the next one will be worse than the next one, and it's you can't even see who he is anymore. It'll just be smudged. This like, but
Face
it's funny.
melters.
Yeah. People and the people who are consuming that like that. Like that's
Exactly.
what they're looking for. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. It's
will
good
they do
times,
next?
man. Thanks for coming, bro. This has been incredible. Man. No, we got skate clips.
Yeah.
Dude. My favorite part of the
Flappy,
show, bro.
flappy arms and sketchy shit. Talk about not perfect.
Hey, thanks
You're
for
tripping, bro.
About to
Hey,
see it.
thanks for talking about the
James, come
business
on.
side of it too, man.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people are interested in that,
Yeah.
and I think I'm interested in it. So I love to, expand our audience's minds into, kind of how it goes down.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? It's like let's talk
And
about.
you don't always
this.
have to take the path of like, I'm going to be a professional skateboarder one day. You can be like, I'm going to be the manager of a professional skateboarder.
Right.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
Jacob Rosenberg was like.
Exactly.
It clicked. We're like, oh, I don't have to be good. I can be involved with this thing I love in a different way.
I mean, even for
I
me,
love
like
that.
team managing was like that thing too, where I get to keep being a part of it, but I don't have to do the hard
the
hard
pressure's
part.
off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, the clips. James Craig, man, listen, you have had some banging clips, bro.
No
Yes.
doubt.
Let's just
agree.
let's start
Drop
off
some
with
heat.
back in the day. What, Raj?
You drop some heat.
Drop some heaters, bro.
Questionable. It's always a Hail Mary. It's like I'm playing the lotto every time. Like
Well, you winning.
there's
Man.
tricks that I've done that I never did again. Front side
that's-
to the
That's skateboarding in front of a camera.
front 360 heel flip. The only time I've ever landed that trick in my life.
Really?
Ever in 30 years.
We'll talk about that in a minute here.
Oh, that's the alternate one.
Yeah, that's the
The intro.
intro.
How
That's
is it?
so weird. I don't
you
know if
feel
I've
pressure
ever
doing that?
seen that one. That's so weird.
That's random that you pulled that one, Raj.
What's the first one I found?
That's not the one that makes the rounds every once in a while.
Yeah.
No, that's
that
just
one.
that
That
one.
one. Ah, you
That's-
got both of them.
That's
see?
the one.
But the reason I pulled the first one was like, did you feel like a lot of pressure because Lance was doing his full one opening?
No, not at,
You just had it.
it's that trick at that park. And I mean, Lance is Lance. So it's like, I think I was probably a little bit more. I honestly barely remember that, but like I was probably more hyped. Lance was the first autograph I ever got. My dad and his dad did the English guards where they dressed up as English guards and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. My dad and Ron, and they were over at the house, and he got Lance to sign me and my brother these little postcards.
How
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
It was pretty sick.
You still got it?
No. I don't know what happened to that thing. Dude, the tray.
That's a beast of a tray, bro.
Dude, your trailer was like your board's vertical right there almost.
I don't know what happened.
Look at that. Look at that back
knee.
How did
foot.
you catch it like that? That's insane.
I don't know.
Trying to get the maximum height out of that thing.
It was literally like that's the last try of the night. If you see the dude right at the end of it, he's like kicking everybody out.
Oh, really?
Filmed by Kurt Hayashi.
Hell yeah.
Rest in
Oh,
peace.
rest in
Yeah.
peace.
Damn.
Matt Beach was there that night. I think there's a clip of him just before this. He frontside flips off of the other bank ramp onto the deck.
It's in the chaos. This is the last trick in the chaos.
Yeah,
section, right?
everyone thinks it's like an opener, but it was never. I never had an opener. But yeah, that one gets the rounds.
You never had an opener?
Nah, nope,
Even the best of?
nope,
What?
no openers.
No duntadas?
No duntadas.
No duntadas.
It's funny. This one will randomly pop up. The thing, one of the ones I was the most stoked on is I think Kyle Walker posted it as like I don't know if it was a hard post or it was a story post, and he was just like, "Thank you." But I think it's because the stank tray has become a thing.
Yeah.
And this is like, I mean, I think I did every 3 flip in my life different. Like there was never one that was exactly the same. But I was really happy with the way that one came out. Because Kalis does that. I think he'll get the back foot like tweaked in this way.
Yep,
I mean, probably the best tray flips of all time.
I
The one
love
over
it.
Definitely.
the one over the can in Philly, like it's just it's insane.
That's
This
a
one's
good,
proper as fuck, though.
You got lucky.
Pop the shit
Doing it
out
on a
of that.
hip is a different technique.
Well, and
It is.
and that park right there, if you like look at the bottom, it's trannies to banks. So it's like, and that thing shot you so straight up that I never worried about going too far.
Dude,
Like, I never did tricks over it because it would shoot you straight up, and it was hard to go over the whole thing.
Dude, that thing was steep.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
about to say that.
I mean, it
Steep.
looks steep as hell.
Yeah, yep. Rocking some Sheffies.
Dude, I
Yeah.
rocked that shit out of that shoe, bro.
You know what I'm talking about, Dubs.
Ran that shit.
That was those are the blue, white, and orange.
Big ass air bubble in that thing.
Yep.
Yeah, the blue, white, and orange, that was my jam too. 100%.
Yeah.
But this was
Love
like,
that shit. Ooh.
and then I got the blind shirt that's like blue and white and gray.
You were trying
Matching.
to
You need a little
Felix
matching.
it.
Dude, hey, you look good, you feel good, you skate good.
No doubt.
We know about it.
Yeah.
We all know about it.
True
It's a
story.
thing.
Dude, that was beautiful, dude.
That was, look at that.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Bro.
But why are you wearing a helmet?
I know. It's so wild that one of my most notable clips is in a helmet. It's so random. And I wouldn't have been wearing that if we didn't have to wear them
Hey,
at that
You
time.
Doc.
you had legit like tricks in your video part there.
Yeah.
Like back nose blend down it and
Yeah.
like, dude, down the hubba.
Yeah, I think Sock came there one time and filmed some stuff. But like that's when like it wasn't like a deadline and you were like you just filmed all the time, and then when the video came out, just like, oh, here's all my footage.
Yep.
Use what you want. There wasn't like an agenda to it.
Yeah.
So but yeah, the Vans Park. And in that era, I was probably, I don't know, 22, 23.
Okay.
We would go over to Dave & Buster's,
Yes.
throw back some beers, waste a bunch of money, and then go skate the Vans Park.
Amazing.
So sick.
Like I would go skate the combi, just like carve around with it's like 50 millimeter wheels and a 7.6 board. Try to get a little coping.
Just a little
Hit
scratch.
the tiles.
Yeah.
Little scratch.
Yep.
that,
The old Vans Park.
Old Vans Park, man. This is the one we were talking about that you just mentioned, the
Oh,
frontside 360.
the
deal.
Hail Mary of Hail Marys. Man, I can't even tell you how many tries this
It's
thing was.
Etowanda, right?
Esperanza.
Esperanza. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
So there's the inside is like the mani pad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that everyone skates.
I'll take that fucking only try ever, and I landed and rolled away like that. I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll
Yeah.
take that.
So this trick, I mean, I tried it. I don't know, man.
What made you want to try that? That's a really
Well,
It's a good trick for that spot.
it's the spot.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
that
yeah.
spot specifically. I was like, and I don't know where I thought of the front three heel. I think wouldn't it PJ's Wonderful Horrible Life come out?
2003, 2?
So I definitely saw PJ do this trick down the stairs,
Yeah.
the 7. And that was the reason I wanted to do that trick. I'm always been a front heeler or whatever,
Yeah.
but like, and front 360s. But like this one, I think I went there one time and tried it, and I got kind of close. And then it would just be this thing where like I would go there for 4 hours and just try it and not make it. And then it got to the point where like after like the 10th or 11th time going, it was just like if no one was going to try a trick and we didn't have a spot to go to, I would just look at Aaron and be like, front three heel. And
Try it.
"All right." And then we would just go for a couple hours. Like, it just depends. It would just depend. And then this one was, I mean, I'm wearing a Lakers warm-up jersey.
Yeah.
I didn't think I expected to have my last trick for What If film that day, but sometimes you just gotta
Love
take
it.
You gotta
Yeah.
take
You gotta
it.
take
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
baby.
Wow, dude.
That is a great man.
I mean, I'm talking thousands of tries.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Right.
Like probably 12 or 15 times going there. On an average, the most I would go would probably be like 4 or 5 hours. The least would be like 2 hours. So like, I don't know.
Is that a busy street too? Do you have to like wait?
No, not super
Oh, okay.
busy because the street doesn't like. There's like it's almost like a bus lane right there.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get away with it.
Got you.
But yeah, the old front three heel, the
There's that
old
mani pad there
miracle.
too, right?
Yeah, mani pad.
Yep.
And then if you go to the other side down the street, they have those butter benches.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You skate there a
Oh,
lot. in
yeah,
this
yeah,
part,
yeah.
In the little park?
No, it's not a park. It's like a schoolyard. They're like
Oh, the old school.
they're thick, and then like it's like a bench. Like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I skated in What If a decent
okay.
amount. Yeah.
Okay. Man. Yeah.
The old
Front 360 heel,
Great
bro.
one, man.
Ooh.
Got lucky.
All you needed to do
Lottery
was
win.
once.
Yep.
There it is.
Speaking of the,
I think I bought a lottery ticket that night. I'm
would've-
serious.
I would've
I'm
too.
serious. I was
That's
like,
so
this
good.
is the day. If it's gonna happen, it's today. Because that was
there's a front heel.
ooh,
There's a front heel.
old Sacramento.
Talking about, bro.
Dude, that spot sucked.
It does. I was just saying that with Raj.
It was like one of those tricks where like I tried it a couple times. I'm like, I don't like. There was so many times where I couldn't pop over it. Like it would just slam
Surprised you
into
got
the
speed to
wall.
get up on
Yeah,
over.
and I didn't get towed in either. I was straight,
Really? You
straight
pushed
pushing.
that?
Yeah. Mhm.
That thing was tall and steep, dude.
You got to really push at that thing.
Yep. I got lucky. I think the Weiss man filmed that one.
Oh, sick.
And he was
Yeah, you
probably-
did it good.
Yeah,
It's
you
what
did.
it's so.
Corey's in the background. Oh yeah, Corzy. Look at him back there. Canada's finest.
I thought it was Cole Cannon at first.
Nope. Corey Shepard. That might have been the trip he switched tray flip the triple set. We would go
okay.
up. We would go up. I think that was probably the reason we were even going up there. Weiss would just try to take people a huck down that thing.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How weird is that? Like, it's not really satisfying when you push so hard for
No.
something and then you just land.
It's
You're
almost
barely moving.
Yeah, it's almost like a euro, like a weird steep euro gap where it's just
Yes.
like you land and you're like, that's
With
it.
little-
You land with like no speed.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're exhausted and you're like, oh.
But you did land just like, oh, okay, cool. That was it.
Yeah, because
No.
there's like no impact. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like it was that much. But yeah, front heels.
Front
And
heels,
Look
man.
at that
Proper as fuck.
matching the shirt and the hat.
I know.
You look good. You
Kelly
feel good, you
Green,
skate
dude.
good. Yeah, Kelly Green.
There we go.
Yep, the old front heel. I have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
I'm a front
Well, you did
heeler.
him. You did him well. You
Thank
did
you.
him
You
well,
did.
man.
I appreciate that.
I mean, you know,
You're
look
still
at this.
probably doing well.
It's one of the only tricks flat ground tricks I still can do decently. Everything
look
else
at
is
that,
soggy. Ooh, look at how far away. What a heel clicking.
It's weirdly, front heels, I think I've said it before, is like, it's oddly a good trick to get up and over something.
Yeah.
And when I didn't know how to do that trick, I didn't understand that. But
It's like a front 180. You're trying to
Yeah.
just kind of get up and over it.
Yeah.
A little lofty.
Lofty.
Well, and the way it flips, it's like goes.
Yeah, you stretch it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
The old front heels, I like them.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Bro,
Seems like people are
Dude.
front heeling a lot.
I love a good front heel. Man, you know who is the
Chima?
best? Yeah, Chima. You know the best switch front heels? JB Gillett.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
JB Gillett, man.
He does them
on
great.
flat ground.
yeah. It looks
No
so
other.
good.
Like no other, bro.
Dude,
here we
the
go.
Kelly Green.
Him and Mo Keys.
No, Keith, that's
Oh.
fucking good as well.
He had a good one.
Let's stay on the heel flip.
Oh, the inward
Are you kidding?
Wow.
with a Bones shirt on.
Look how what? Look how high that is, bro.
I was high. For sure. Super high. I forget. I don't know why we went there at night.
Maybe
Evan
those clips.
Shufflebein might have been there too. It's like a weird. It's kind of pressure, but not. I don't know.
We talk about inward heels on the show, and there's like multiple ways to do them. Like
Yeah.
Daniel Castillo has this weird like
Him
little
and-
kick.
Well, him and Day One. That's like the old way you did it. It's like you kind of kick in.
Yeah.
And then there at some point people started to kick off the front of the nose.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like when you kick off the front of the nose, you actually lose your board, the side of your board.
Yeah.
Because your leg is sideways and the board, you lose sight of it.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think
Yeah.
I don't know, and it's funny because I think like you know, people even back in the day, like the switch inward
I just
ones.
posted that the other
Yeah,
day, and I
where
was
it's
like,
like-
"Is this switch or regular?
Yeah.
Oh,
or is
yeah.
it pressure?" And then they were like,
Oh.
"It's a switch inward heel."
Yeah.
But some people, there was like 1 or 2 comments that were saying that it looks like it could be a switch pressure, and I'm like, "Nah, we
It's
gotta
just
look
the
at
way
that."
that it
Look
looks.
at it,
It's just
yeah.
the way that it looks. It's
Yeah.
a switch and heel.
Oh, would you title it like that? Is this?
Yeah, I put, "Is this a switch pressure flip or
Oh,
switch
okay.
inward
A
heel?"
little Q&A.
Yeah, and majority everybody said switch inward heel, but
Right.
there was like 1 or 2 that just questioned it. All right.
There's always
Yeah.
1 or 2.
It was just the way it was done back then.
Yeah.
It was just like hard flips, like, you know, and frontside flips. Like back in the day, it was kick flip, like pivot. You know what I mean? A lot of people would do that, or hard flips. Like the way Day One did the first hard flip.
Yes.
It's like,
For sure.
it's super. It's like how he would do the inward heels.
Even
Yeah.
like on the burrow bank, he would like do it and then pivot around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Look how high you are. Jesus Christ.
That
I'm
was
not, I'm not
good
talking about
inward heel
yourself.
flip.
I'm talking about you were on the board.
That was high as shit.
I mean, that's
I mean,
That'd be the worst
you've seen all the graphics. It's
Yeah.
it's no secret.
I couldn't imagine being high trying to inward heel flip off something. I would have
I was-
lost.
I was high for 20 years. Like it's just
But
one of the days.
Personally, if I smoked, they're like, you got to inward heel flip off this. I'd be like, what do I do?
Hey, we'd have fixed it everybody differently. But
Hey, Dubs knows what I'm talking
I
about.
definitely do. Still do.
It was just it was part of the game.
damn.
I don't know why we were there that night.
Yeah, it is a weird spot to light up. It looks good lit up.
I think
That's
also
a
because it's like
plus.
kind of on like a busy street, so it's just like
Yeah, but there's nothing there though. It's
No.
a sidewalk into an empty driveway.
Yeah.
So you could go skate it damn near any time, pretty
Yeah.
much.
I don't know why we didn't put anything there. I should be doing it over something.
Over
No,
a fucking
Did
semi
you guys say
truck.
something before that?
I don't
'Cause
know.
You could have just been in the area like, hey, let's go light that up.
That's true. That's
I
true.
don't remember.
Ah,
I was
super.
high.
It's
Super sick.
whew, you did it.
The more I
fucking
look
really
at
well,
it, the
man.
front foot looks so weird.
What you mean? I mean, you kicked out.
I
Yeah,
guess
you
I
flip
did,
it so
yeah.
quick, though. That's what.
Oh look,
takes
the back foot does the same thing as the tray. Where am I going with that thing?
I don't know. You just
Oh, you
said-
caught it good.
Again, you're maximizing that height.
Trying to. I was trying to go up. Couldn't go big down.
Right.
So I was like, let's go up.
Let's go up.
Let's go up.
That'll work.
To the moon.
All the way up.
up, baby. I just want to bring this one up. It's a sick trick, but also the nostalgia for myself and probably you guys here too. Is
Ooh.
the
Venice.
180
Yeah,
nose back when he nose grind to the Venice hubba,
Oh man, yeah, that was a good one. I think that was a DVS ad.
Yep.
Yep.
and you missed the circle play.
You
Yep.
avoided that
You
thing.
avoided
yeah.
the circle little gap on the bottom.
Because my arms are flapping around like a helicopter. I think this was. I had tried this multiple times, and I think we were just there. Somebody else was trying something. Maybe Jonas was doing nose blunt recipes.
Jonas Ray.
Yeah, Jonas Ray. I forget. Why we were there that day. Oh, this might have been the day Gideon did back tail too. But
He backtailed that thing?
yeah,
Sick.
yeah.
I don't remember that footage in anything.
It might have been in that Liberty section. It might have been in 411.
Huh, I can't remember that.
What was it in? I forget. But yeah, back when he knows me, I used to get lucky with that trick. I couldn't really like. I do the scoop, if you can see. I don't
Yeah.
really like pop it. I do the scoop 180.
Well, it's all one motion.
And that hubba was perfect because it was kind of steep.
Yeah.
So you're just like.
Yeah.
The problem was it was always like sketchy landing, like because you would have to like sweep away the sand.
Yeah,
slide
the
out.
sand. And there is that big circle pit right at the landing as well. You can't really see it in this clip. It's blowing out.
I think I did another. Oh, I front blunted that thing.
That's what it was.
Damn,
Last trick in
true.
your Wheels of Fortune.
Yeah.
Wow.
That hubba was sick. They just took it out, huh?
Yeah,
Later that
I think
thing.
they did. They took it out, and then the Venice. It's weird how the little transformations it's gone through
Yeah.
Where exactly was that?
behind the pit.
Yeah.
So if you're looking into the pit from the boardwalk,
Yeah.
It's like
on the left
behind.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, so right now, if I was to look at the thing sticking up the walls, it would be to the left.
It'd be to the left and back. Probably that last wall that's there.
Yeah.
It's
So
probably
like towards the
a
police
little
station.
Ah.
bit. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit back. Sorry for waving my hand in,
Oh,
in
no
your
worries.
face, Stubbs.
No worries.
That'd be so cool if it was still there.
Actually, you can kind of see the police station, the top of it right there. Is that
No,
it?
I
It might be a tree.
They
No,
may
it
have
was a square thing.
remodeled. I don't remember if there was a police station back there, actually.
Look at
back
those
then. I don't remember.
fingers.
Maybe it could be.
I always do that. What am I doing?
Freddy Krueger.
It's amazing what your hands do when you're just
Oh, yeah.
like you look at photos.
Yeah,
you're like,
I
what the
used to
hell?
do like this thing. Yeah.
Well, that's just
Concentration point is what they call it. Like when your body just does something and you don't know because you're so focused on
Yeah,
what you're doing.
Well, that's a funny thing too. Is I had the same problem kind of with my feet. Right, we had Chris Haslam on, and he does these weird. He'll do this and then bring his foot up and then wrap it and then do
it's
this. And
insane.
I'm like, I don't have the ability to pop my board and then in the air move my feet around and flip the
Manipulate
thing.
it.
I
Yes.
don't have that.
Yeah, it has to start with the pop. Like I have to start with that in my head. Like, yeah, Haslam's crazy.
He's insane, bro. In the best way possible.
Insanely talented.
Fuck yes.
He's a technician. He knows how to use his feet on that board.
How many stairs? Is it like an 8 or 9 stair?
Yeah, I think it was 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And then there's like the last stair is like a whatever little mini stair.
It's like buried in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
That was a great era back there. That was a great era back then.
Oh man, loved it.
The graffiti pits was such a fucking
The
blessing
best. Yeah,
to
it was such a
have
fun
right
spot.
there. Wow.
It's so funny because back in the day, it was just like, all right, we're gonna go skate the pits, and it's just like it smelled like piss, and it was like you didn't want to fall, like you didn't really want to try hard tricks, like
Nah.
you're getting staph or hepatitis.
The problem was though is that when you went there and then you started trying the hard
yeah.
trick, you go there with in mind like I'm just gonna maybe crooked grind,
Yeah.
and have fun board slides.
unless you're a guy, and then you do switch, pop, shove, crook, second
The whole
try,
shit, yeah.
right? Wasn't it second try?
I think
That's
it was
the
fairly
rumor.
fast.
Yeah.
I know it was fairly fast.
Wow, really? Second try?
Yeah.
didn't know
Oh,
that.
that's the rumor. I don't know.
Wow.
Anytime we heard something like that, we would always hear it from like Richard or somebody would come back to
Dude,
Chief.
that was
be
like second
"Yo,
try.
So good.
This dude did this.
Did Richard have a nickname for you?
Richard Mulder?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's weird.
Maybe behind my back, T-Dog.
Oh, okay.
Maybe T-Dog. Bow wow. He was the one who brought T-Dog to Chafee because he would like go up to SF.
He would go to SF with
yeah,
everybody.
and then he would
T-Dog.
bring it back. Yeah.
You brought it back.
T-Dog.
Which is the best.
He
I
is
think
the
Costin
best.
one time called me like a attack dog. He was making fun of me at the courthouse. So it was like, but that was like in the T-Dog era. Like, look
Right.
at the little attack dog. He's coming. He's coming. I think Gideon Choi heard him say some shit, and I was just like, Gideon told me. I was like, thanks, dude. But at the same, but at the
my
same
favorite
time,
skater.
but at the same time, I'm like, look at it, and I'm like, well, he noticed me.
He acknowledged
Like,
you.
that's the way I was like, oh shit, he noticed me,
Totally.
amazing.
and I was trying to be noticed, so it worked, I guess.
Well, you got noticed doing this trick at the courthouse.
Oh, man,
Oh, yeah.
half cab nose bonk.
And where are you pushing to? Jeez, you were
dude.
trying a line?
I always will keep going. Yeah, you can ask. Aaron Brown can attest to this. I will just keep going. I think
That was gnarly, dude.
Super gnarly.
but I think it was like a thing back in the day too. Was like I would watch like LeVar and those dudes where it was just like you just kept going until you fault.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
LeVar was good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would keep going for sure.
like the line he does at Ramona where he gets to the fence and Sock's like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Where he going?
Yeah, where are you going?
Yeah. You're
He like
done.
runs into the fence. Is the best. Yeah, the half cab nose bonk or half cab nose blindside transfer. I think this did Tim film that? I think
Dowling?
it was in the Listen video.
Yeah.
I think Tim filmed that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm wearing a Jerry Springer shirt.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I tried it this day.
Well, you were high.
I was high for sure. 100%. Definitely. But I don't know why we were at the courthouse that day. I think this was like kind of in the middle of filming for Listen. I remember the first time I filmed with Dowling for Listen. It's at this La Mirada metal ledge, and I had a clip in Listen, and I think I don't
Oh,
know
you
if-
backtail it?
I think so.
can, like,
Something like that. I do a
yes.
line varial heel flip, and then
Backtail. And switch hard
and
flip or
then
something?
switch hard, and then a fakey varial heel flip.
Oh, that's right.
Like a most random. That's another case of like I didn't know what I was doing, and then I just threw. I don't even know if I tried that trick. I just threw out a fakey varial hill.
You were in some black muskas. I
Oh
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
some S's.
Yep.
Yep. Team BK. That's when I was Team BK flow.
Team BK.
Were you on
Shout out
Society
Team
then?
BK.
Probably. Yeah, this
Oh,
was
yeah.
probably Society days.
Society dogs.
Yep. But yeah, I don't know why.
Well, a lot of people didn't skate it like that. I
No.
think Eric Dressen back in the day
Nose
bonked
bonk. It was
did.
cover Thrasher.
Cover Thrasher, right?
But he went off the other side.
Yes, absolutely.
But we used to skate off of the fountain. Like, you know how it's like a bump?
Right.
So we would skate just over it into the
Over
bottom.
the
Yeah.
bump.
Yeah, over
because
the bump.
you couldn't really skate the
No,
bump.
no.
It was like this weird, like,
Especially
hump.
when
Yeah.
you're going on a drop, and then it would just, you would
It
be
was for the water
splatted.
to go up and
Roll over.
cascade
Yeah.
over.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I did the half
Yeah,
cab
that's
nose blunt.
interesting.
Kelly always shouts this out as the best trick of at the courthouse.
I just love it because it's so random but so sick at the same time. And
It is.
you're the really like we're saying.
Nobody really skated it like
no
that.
one skated
No.
it.
Those are
Well,
I kind of knew that ledge looks.
it is a sketchy thing because there is the ledge at the bottom.
yeah.
So
But, like-
there's visual aspects of it where you're like, oh wow, this could your trajectory is going away from that,
Yeah.
obviously, but you know those little mental things, you see stuff and you're like, well, this ledge is here if I fucking do this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
don't
lot of
think
things going on.
I don't think I ever really locked in that good. I don't know how long that took me either. I seriously cannot remember that day.
Do you remember
for
what
the-
trick you tried after?
I would imagine a flat ground trick and then something into the fountain.
What you
trying to get line
going
into the
around?
Wow.
No, I probably did a flat ground trick and then tried to go into the fountain like a backside,
Oh,
like a
gotcha.
backside flip or something.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like randomly in the middle of your section, and it was like I was like, holy shit! It was kind of like the gnarliest trick in there. I feel like
Yeah, it was.
it was all ledge tricks, and then you're like, holy shit, this is. Nuts.
I just, it's funny. Like it's so weird watching something on loop because then you like, I'm focusing on my nose never touches. Look at,
Yeah.
I'm like hydroplaning.
I
No, it's
mean,
a half
I'm
cab,
doing- I'm
it's
doing
a
the-
half cab nose bonk.
I'm doing the Scott Johnston.
Yeah.
You know when he did the back tail, both wheels.
so
The original Tusky grind.
Look at, I'm.
you're the thing. I don't know I know what you're saying, but you are in that vertical.
Sure.
But
position.
his nose never touches.
No, not even
Right.
close. But I'll
That's-
take it. Whatever.
It's like
Hell yeah, I'll take that shit too.
you're sliding sideways, but
Yeah.
you're just not.
Not logged in. That's
Yeah.
fine. Whatever.
All good.
Straight up.
all good.
Love it.
I'll take it any way I can get it, boys.
And I love in the background, we hear everyone go nuts when you land too. I always got hyped on shit like that.
That's probably why I kept going. I was like, did I make it? I made it.
I did.
Go.
And that was just one day. You didn't go back and try it again. That was just like, oh, maybe I'll try this. I'm high.
That's not the way.
Might as well.
That's not the way it worked. If I did something, we're good.
We
It
move
wasn't
forward.
like oh, I can go back and lock in better. Like nah.
No. But what I'm saying is like you didn't go back multiple days to keep
Nah,
trying it.
nah,
It was
I-
just a spur of the moment random trick. I'll
100
try this.
100%.
I love that.
Yeah. The old half cab nose blunt transfer. I did it on a couple different things later on. Like I think after I did this, like I always wanted to do a proper one where you like half cab and lock in nose blunt. There was one I had in maybe it was the blind video, but it's the brick.
There it is.
Oh, there you go.
Bingo.
I was trying to do this 360 out for so long. Like it just works. Like it
Half
should.
cab out, yeah.
Oh,
Like-
at this spot?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you got that clip.
And then I want to do half cab nose blunt 270.
Right.
Yep.
I
That's
like it.
fun.
You actually pop out before the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why it was fun. It was-
Dude, I always tripped on that spot because I never went there. First of all, it's brick, it's rounded, and you have to go up and over this like L block to get to it.
It's pretty small on top, to
Is
be
it
honest
really?
with you. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was like the first spot I ever saw people use Bondo to fill in the cracks.
I don't know if they did. Maybe.
I think Ricky did.
So
And
Oh,
I'm
maybe,
pretty.
yeah.
I went to that spot one. I couldn't do shit on it, but it was just raw brick there.
Yeah.
and it
When
was
I
good.
skated,
but it was a
brick.
shiny brick too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it wasn't
no,
like
it was
it wasn't
slick.
like
Yeah.
How tall was it to get on?
It's probably like
Oh,
that.
seriously? A foot maybe.
Yeah,
A foot,
maybe.
maybe 16 inches. No,
a foot or less.
foot or less.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
you.
It wasn't that big to get
Okay.
on. That was like
Which makes it a little easier because you could pop and go over. Do you ever skate? What's that L block we skated? And I slammed crazy
The one
on
up
it.
in the valley.
Yeah.
Oh, Pettit Park?
oh
Yes.
Yeah.
But
it's high on this
it's
side.
high.
It's high.
You got to go up.
Is that
and
the one where
over.
it kind of slants in on the bottom?
Maybe?
Yes.
On the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah.
Tori's got a lot of gnarly shit there.
Yeah.
You did something on there. Switch lip something?
Fuck,
No.
I can't even remember.
I don't
I think probably. I don't remember.
Yeah. But that's interesting. I always wanted to go there, but at the same time, I was like, I don't really know. If I went there, what would I do?
It's
I
like
don't know what I would do.
It's like a random spot. It was off of like the 91 freeway and Kramer, and then you would go like south. It was like in Anaheim.
Just a park.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a random park.
Like a baseball field.
They had like aluminum bleachers that you could skate. They're like the metal.
Sure.
Yeah. So they're like on the other side of those buildings.
Okay.
I had and then there was other stuff there that you could skate.
I'm sure that spot's still there.
Yeah, it might be knobbed. I had a couple tricks on
this-
there.
No. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to the other clip. I wish I labeled these better. Sometimes I make little notes.
This.
There we go.
Oh,
This
you
one.
got two of them in a row.
Yeah.
Switch stance, backside heel.
Switch stance,
No.
Backside.
Switch stance.
Switch back.
I
Heel,
try to
tail
read
slide.
Roger's.
Switch heel but back tail.
Switch stance, backside, 180 heel flip
He
to
put-
tail slide.
Roger put SSBS heel SSBS TS.
No, SS. I don't know.
SSBS heel SSBS TS.
Switch
Switch
heel back tail.
Yeah, switch heel back tail works
back tail.
great.
Pretty
God,
easy.
that's pretty good.
Perfect.
Dude, Little Thirst. Look at young Little Thirst shooting the sequence.
Oh wow.
Oh, is that a
Anthony? Is that
Costa?
Anthony?
Anthony
That
Acosta.
is Anthony.
Yeah. He's probably going to piss at me for saying that, but
No way.
yep.
Bro.
I remember it's funny because, I mean, Anthony rips at skateboarding.
hell
Yes, he
yeah.
does.
And then it was like, this might have been kind of in the beginning of his transition of shooting. Kelly Green again, just FYI.
Oh yeah, you.
And audios.
Yeah. I got flowed from audio, and I think at one point they maybe paid me like $200 a month just to be on flow.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. This was in the, this
Yeah, I
is,
think
this
Jeff,
is,
Jeff wanted to hold on to you.
yeah, this is in like
They
the,
should have given more than $200.
this is like the full struggle years where I was just like, I mean, I was barely making enough money to get by.
Where before where before blind after where
No,
where
no,
was
this is mid blind.
Mid-blind.
Mid blind, probably mid 2000s,
pro already.
early 2000s. This was when like Circa went away and like
After the knee surgery.
yeah,
Right. Yeah.
knee surgery was 2000, and then Circa went away maybe 2002, and then it was just whatever for the longest time.
That's
Audio flow. I was on Osiris flow.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
There's some clips with some
You really
Osiris
need
is
to have
on.
an agent.
Kong Ling.
Oh, Kong's
Yeah,
awesome.
he would hook it up.
Yeah.
I needed an agent for show. But then
Yeah.
eventually, that's when I ended up on Power, and then
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Me and Rob talked about it the other day.
yeah. It's funny. He texted me the other day. He's like, "What was the shoe company?
That's
Power."
what, it was me and him talking about. It. We
Yeah.
couldn't remember.
Wow.
But dude, to be honest with you, like writing for them, like kind of saved me. Like I got paid enough money to like pay down some debts and some credit card bills and shit like that, and like get back to like even.
Okay.
And then we were about to make I was going to have a pro shoe. It was like me, Willie Santos, and Duffy were going to have, Dick's Sporting Goods wanted to buy like 25,000 of each. And they were like, we're going to give you a smaller royalty, but it'll be like 25 grand or something like that. We're like, let's do it. They cut the skate program.
Oh.
They were just like, nope, it's done. They probably,
Was it already an existing like shoe brand?
Power?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was owned by this company called Bata, and they were from Canada. That was previously Rex.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, they had a history in like trying to do skate
Trying to do
programs.
bad skate
Yeah.
shoe companies?
Yeah. Dan Opek, he was the one who masterminded that one. Yo, Opek. But yeah, the old switch heel back tail. This was another random. You know what? This isn't far from where the 360 heel flip happened.
Oh.
So this might have been a day after this, because I remember this was fairly quick.
Okay.
I probably went and tried the front three heel after this,
Got you.
guaranteed.
Did the jersey on?
No, on this one, no jersey, just Kelly Green. But if I had a photographer and we were like in the zone, I would have for sure went and tried it. Anthony probably wasted like 35 rolls on me.
Oh my god.
That was the worst.
Yeah, the rolls.
Watching Cossack just like put the rolls down, and you know him, he's not like going to throw them away. He's laying on his stomach trying to shoot a sequence, and then there's
You just see him there. Yeah.
rolls of film.
It's just
He's
getting
got boxes
bigger.
on one side and just piles on the other.
Yeah.
Man.
And then Cossack would somehow, like, there was multiple times where he just forgot to put film in. Or it's like at the end of the roll and he missed shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he did that with me one time. I don't know.
This
Oh,
7th Street, right? Yeah.
boing. Look at the audios. This
Wow.
was this was
Amazing.
kind of this was. It's funny. This is like my era of like, I think probably my most confident skateboarding. This is.
But wait,
This was
which-
this was a few years before I broke my arm. So this was probably 2006, 2007
Which shoes are those?
audios. Same ones.
Oh, same ones.
Hamilton's
For sure. Hamilton's. I ran the Hamiltons hard.
Bro, shout out
So
Hamilton.
this
Love
this
that
day.
shit.
So back in the day, it's funny.
Really
This ties back to the Venice pits.
Okay.
We were skating there one day. It was like me, Gideon, my brother, maybe Robbie, whatever. It was like maybe 97, 98, something like that. But I was just skating around, and then I was just like doing front crooks, and then there was some dude there who was like, "Hey, I have an art project. Would you mind if I like shot photos of you?" And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Just did a bunch of front crooks, did like a front crook 180, and I was like going, and the dude had stopped shooting photos. It was like he was just shooting stills. And Gideon was right behind. I probably snaked him, to be honest with you, like fucking like an idiot. But I distinctly remember he was right behind me, and I was like, "Yo, Joey, check this out!" And a front crook, nollie backside flip, and I landed perfect. Like,
You landed it.
100%. Yeah. Gideon can back this up. He's the only person who can back this up. No filmers, no photos, nothing. Front crook, nollie backside flip on the second ledge in the hallway.
Okay.
And I was just like, ever since then, like I think I tried to film it after for a few hours and didn't even get close. And I had always wanted to do that trick again. I knew I could do it, but I just like the spot wasn't always like right. I don't know. I think that was when they were really rounded, so you could kind of get a little
Right.
bounce out or something.
Okay.
And then this day we went to Venice. It was me, Aaron, maybe Joe Krolick, Chris Ortiz ended up meeting us there. I think we were going to like, I honestly think we might have been going to like skate with some of the famous dudes because
Okay.
Aaron Brown filmed the famous video. So it might have been, I forget why we went there that day. It wasn't, I didn't specifically have this in mind, but we got there and like, I was like, oh, this one, it works perfect for front crook nollie backside flip. And then I was like, probably warmed up. And then I think this probably took me 20 minutes. It's probably the quickest
Wow.
I ever did a trick.
The beautiful thing on the bench, though, is that you get that bounce.
You get the bounce.
Yeah.
You get the
Exactly.
bounce.
Yeah.
And you did it right in the middle.
Yeah.
That proper bounce.
Yeah. I'm wearing like an Obey shirt or something.
Is that rad? I mean, that feeling you get with... Because back then, I mean, listen, a front crook, nollie backs,
Yeah.
that's a big trick.
For
Like, that's
sure.
and you land something like that, you feel so fucking fulfilled.
Oh, dude. And it's weird because like I normally don't, like my arms really didn't move that much. Like normally I'm like, wah, but like everything worked out. And then Ortiz was shooting photos and I was like, what? Like,
It all
how
happened?
did that all happen so perfectly? It just happened. dude.
Magic.
Right
yeah.
place, right time.
Look at them. Look at them puffy ass shoes too. Like
That flick,
looking
though,
down.
man. You look at that perfect.
Yeah. Both.
You know what's funny, dude? Isn't it
lucky.
crazy to think that like Shane O'Neill, like tray flip front crook,
Oh,
nollie
yeah.
backside flip
Yeah.
out?
I mean, now-
that happened.
Now it's just like now nothing surprises me.
Yeah.
You see like Gustavo Ribeiro do like 360 flip front feeble 360. I don't know, whatever. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever they do.
But how
or
funny
some
is that?
random there was a random kid who did tray flip front crook nollie backside
on a
flip out.
ledge, straight
Yeah,
ledge,
straight ledge.
That was amazing. Yeah, bank
It's
to ledge
wild.
though. Yeah.
So
I remember I remember that one where I rode away and I was like, oh, that's it. That's what I want. That's what I want. Like that feeling.
Yeah, it's the
like
best.
it's indescribable.
It is.
It felt so good. Especially too, like just rolling into and doing a trick on 7th Street. It's like if you do
Yeah.
something, I don't know if it had been done there before, but if you do something on 7th Street that you don't know if it's been done,
Yeah.
like it's a
legendary.
Fuck,
Didn't
yeah.
Rick do something like this there?
front
Rick
180,
Howard?
fakey 5-0, front to
Yeah.
half, front to half guy
Yes.
flip, and then he
Yes.
focuses his board
After.
and then breaks the tail and then smashes it.
Yep.
Rick's one of my favorite skaters of all time.
Fuck.
Him and
yes.
Guy, dude. Like Rick's style, like I look back and I'm just like, he had one of the illest styles ever.
So sick.
Give it to me, baby.
And I still trip out when I see him and he's like, "What's up, James?" And I'm like, "Hi, Rick."
I
And
know,
his
right?
hand in
yeah,
your
it's,
hand.
hell yeah. It's like fucking 5 times the
That
size
big
of my
ass
shit.
fucking
Banana
ribs.
hammock.
Yeah, bro.
and then we'll like talk about the Lakers.
Yeah.
But it's still, I still get so like tripped out. Like, holy shit, Rick Howard knows who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
wild.
that, man.
I'm
he's great.
sitting here with one of my favorites, the Dubs. I remember,
The Dubs.
I remember the first time I met the Dubs was at Transition Skate Park.
Oh my gosh, in LA, downtown.
Downtown? I think it
or
was
East LA.
Yeah, East LA. I think you and Weston were there.
Yeah.
And it might have been around the time of that they had a contest there. Do you remember the contest they had there where Ben Schroeder aired off of the fucking bank ramp
Yes.
over the thing
Yeah.
into the mini ramp,
Yep.
into the spine ramp?
Yep.
Yeah. It was around that time. It was
such
probably
short-lived time. Like that. I mean, that park was open. It wasn't open that long.
Yeah.
So
well, and like I don't know how I don't even know why I was there. It was super random, but we're like, I mean, I seen it was like Little Dubs, and I was like, holy shit, it's John Wilson. And like I knew who Weston was, and like everyone's like, oh, that dude skates. You might have been on. Were you on Reel before you got on Blind? Yeah, you might have been on Reel at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like just before you got on.
yeah, it
Blind.
was very short-lived.
Yeah.
I probably was on Reel for like a good 6 months, maybe.
6 months. That's it. How old were you when you were on Reel?
Fuck, I'd say 14.
14.
Wow.
It had to be like 91, right? 90, 91.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. What year did you start skating?
89. I was 10. So yeah, I've been.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
was 14.
didn't really get into like in 91, 92 is when I started to like get to go to parks and spots and stuff like that. Because I was skated with like Gideon and older dudes, so that's when I started to get to venture out. I
Right.
might have went there with Gideon. I know my brother was there, I think. But yeah. But we were tripping out because it was like, did it have like the launch to a flat bank over
Yeah,
the thing?
yeah.
You might have like heel flipped it or something. I don't know. It was like
I mean,
you did something, and I was like, oh my god.
I remember at that
That
time
dude's
we were trying
amazing.
some like crazy shit. I remember trying like fucking pressure flip late shove it and just doing
Yeah.
weird shit
Oh,
at that
whoa.
time. So, but a heel flip, fuck, I'll take
Yeah.
the like standard heel flip.
It was something. It was something where it was like he blasted a trick, and like that was when I was like a little kid, and Dubs was like pretty small, and everybody like got him around. And when I saw him in video days, I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, like kids can do that. So those are like all my favorite
Right.
skaters that I could associate with, where you like see a younger dude. Like,
And I was little as fuck at that time too.
and I
like,
was small until I was like 17. Like I was
Same.
like 5'1".
yeah.
And probably in 91, I was probably 4'10".
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe
Yep.
shorter. Like,
Yeah.
I was so small.
Little dude with the highest voice ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. I
Me
see
too.
footage and I'm like, dude, my
Me too.
voice was so fucked up, bro. Like so high to the point where I was like, holy, I would get annoyed with my voice.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you realize, like, oh, shit, I was annoying everyone on
Yeah,
camera.
probably.
Yeah. Because I know how I was. I was all up in the camera.
Yeah. No doubt. It was new. Yeah.
Yeah.
We wanted to fucking film and then look at the footage after we did it.
You wanted to see it right away.
Yeah.
Let's check out the footage.
Yeah.
Check out the footage.
Oh, the footage. Yeah. Okay. This is a WTF trick here. Boom.
Oh. Nose blunt to switch back.
That
to
was fucking insane.
That was sick.
Old
Straight up.
Citrus Park.
I never went there. I always wanted to go.
It was good.
It's like, it's weird. It's like the closest thing to like Aero Vista. You know,
Era Vista.
the other ledge that has the tiles that I did switch heel back tail.
on the
okay.
basketball court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Danny.
That's what I thought it was.
I know.
No.
They're very fucking similar.
Yeah.
Same company probably built them.
Yeah. This is in Anaheim.
Okay.
They're still there. This one has the two long curved ledges. Those
Yeah.
are like long curved, and then there's like a gazebo in the middle where you do manual tricks. Danny skated it in
yeah,
Mosaic,
Danny skated
Yeah.
for sure.
where he does like nollie flip nose. Does a line
Nollie foot manual.
nollie flip manual,
Switch tail.
switch tail.
No, back tail, switch tail. Wait, switch tail, back tail, switch 180, nollie flip manual.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. This was. Oh, I think I'm wearing powers on this one.
Powers.
Yeah, I think so. This might have been like when I first started getting powers.
But wait a minute. Back then, I mean, how did you even think to do that trick?
I don't know.
So sick. And it's kind of high to get on that one
It's
too,
high.
right?
Yeah.
It's
It wasn't.
it's not as big as Aero Vista.
Aero Vista was. That's why
Yeah,
I'm getting
the Aero
confused.
Vista is a little taller.
Yeah.
That thing's probably 24 inches, maybe more.
Was it the curve? I mean, is it?
Yeah,
What
the,
was
the thing that sucks about this part is, so it's like a playground and it has all the wood chips. Like if like the pathway right there is pretty skinny. So if you see, there's always wood chips, like
And those things will
everywhere.
fuck you
Oh
up.
yeah, for sure.
Stop you in
It
your
sucks.
tracks.
It was like that's why I didn't really ever try the lines there, is I would always end up fucking hitting one of the wood chips and just eating
bring a
shit.
broom.
Dude,
Yeah.
you could really get served trying this fucking trick too. Like going into that switchback.
I
tail.
always had nose blunt Nolly 270s pretty decent.
so
So it
you're
was just
already
like, I don't know. One day it came to me. I wish I wouldn't have I don't know. I kind of go onto the truck a little bit. I kind of go into Switch 5.0 a little bit.
I mean,
kinda
It's hard not to, but
kinda
like,
have
oh, you're chilling.
I
dude.
wish I
You
would have
learned that
like.
on video though.
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't
Straight up.
like super slow. You know.
At least I slid like 2 inches after.
All right, go back and do it again.
I will say this: I was really, really stoked that I actually came back out to switch because normally, like, this would be the trick where
All the way around,
my
yeah.
my arms would just take me all the way around.
Got you. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I was pretty
can
stoked
see
that I actually came to fakie. That was a random day.
I mean, if people do that shit now, it would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Chris, you remember how you were talking about my red face?
Yeah.
Look how red my face is. When I skate or if I'm like doing something in the sun, your boy just gets red.
I was giving him shit. It was the Vans contest. What was it? The Vans Showdown? Or
Yeah.
what was it? At the
Oh,
beach?
yeah.
I was sitting at the
Bro.
beach for like 11 days because I was there for like all these. I was just doing registration.
Yeah.
You
And I'm
were-
just sitting on the beach,
The
just
lobster?
getting pummeled. And then the other part was I was driving from Rancho Cucamonga. So on the way down there, the sun was coming this way. And on the way home, the sun was coming this way. And
Oh.
for 10 straight
Just getting
days.
baked.
Yes.
Yo, by the time I saw him, you were fucking stick a fork in you, bro.
Lobster.
You were done.
But you know what was sick is you did bring me some
Sunblock.
sunblock.
Bro,
You were concerned. And
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I did give you shit. Probably on camera, too.
Yeah,
but,
you did, and I'm fine with that.
bro,
Like we were talking about earlier.
it's like day 2 you should have had sunscreen.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know.
I came with SPF like 200.
I think I used some probably the second or third day, and then it was just like, no, it's not going to work.
So he went from red to fucking white
Purple.
because he was just sunscreen fucking.
You had like, it was like 100 or something like that you gave
Listen,
me.
the
I need
best
the
one.
powerful shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got this little pasty skin, bro.
Let's get a little spatula. Just
Yeah.
Get this off the screen. Let's stop
What?
looking at this dude.
You don't like that?
go back and do it again.
I don't think I could do
I think
that.
you're good.
That's a good trick.
Yeah, you're
though.
definitely
Yeah.
good.
Look,
Yeah.
your back tail. Switch back tail. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take it. Get lucky.
Also
Hail
very-
Marys. That one I never did again for sure.
You don't
Okay,
need to.
you don't need to,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hey, you did it.
I did it. You get lucky.
Video says it all.
Let's talk about
What video was this in? Blind video had to be. The blind video.
was it blind video?
The blind video.
What if? No.
No,
Oh,
the-
blind
the
video.
blind video.
Right.
Last part. My last part ever.
This was a popular spot. I had brought this up before. What trip? What school was that? What was
El
it called?
Cajon.
El Cajon.
El Cajon.
Yeah.
Very
So-
cool spot.
You can hear in the background when I land it.
Everyone goes nuts.
There's a very distinct
Danny Garcia?
scream. No, Ortiz. So, this day, we went there with there was like 15 or 20 of us. I think Gideon was there. It might have been the day that he shot the back cover of his 411 Rookies. I think it was a switchback tail. But he had done a couple tricks. A few different people did tricks. Dave Sloshback is filming.
Wow.
Ortiz had given up on shooting photos because he had shot like 5 different people shooting photos. And this was like the very end of the day.
Probably didn't have enough film for a sequence.
Yeah. And like, this was, that might be my first kickflip back nose blunt.
Really?
Yeah.
Ortiz
On
was
that
like,
spot.
"Fuck."
Yeah. But dude, everyone was filming forever. And then I tried the kickflip back nose blunt and then I got close and everyone stopped skating. They were like done. And I just kept going. And then when me and Sock were putting together my Wheels of Fortune, Sloshback would not give us the clip.
What did he want it for?
I don't know. He
What?
just wouldn't give me the clip. But like Rodney had to intervene and like
Wow.
talk to him and be like, hey, he needs this clip. This is his last trick for his Wheels of Fortune. And I'd never seen it. Like I knew I did it and I knew he filmed it. I had never seen
Wow.
it.
No way.
Yeah.
He's holding it hostage.
And I didn't get to see it until it was like done. Like Sock had it and I was like, oh my God.
Was he trying to sell
This
it?
is-
for
this-
like I don't
I don't
understand.
know. I don't know.
It's
I don't know what it
probably
was.
on video.
But dude, that was one of the best feeling tricks I ever did in my entire life.
I bet, dude. That was
Like
big
wh-
back then.
Like
Hell yeah.
after I'm riding away, like when I stand up, I'm just still looking at my board. I cannot believe I'm riding away from this trick. Like
that's amazing, dude.
So
rocking some DVSs,
Those are day ones. Weren't those day ones?
maybe.
He had like I think it was his second shoe or something.
I'm wearing some green swishy blind pants.
Yo, Blind Loki
and-
made really good clothes.
Dude, the stuff back in the day, like on the tray flip, that cut and sew shirt is a Blind shirt. Like they made some dope uppers at that time. I might be wearing a monkey stick shirt.
Sticks.
Oh yeah, that was the original Grizzly.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty much.
But dude, it was crazy because they just started making like everything. They did the shorties model. Like they even had like candy. Like there was like a gummy in like this syrup, and they called them monkey tails. It was just like they sent a package to me one time, and they were in there. I was like, "What is this?"
Was
like,
Was it a world thing or who?
No, it's our own.
No,
thing.
it was like it was like an independent thing.
Isn't that
I think
at a-
World
isn't
might have
that
made
out of Canada?
the boards for them.
It might have been Canada.
Yeah.
yeah, it
That's
might have
the
been
homie.
Canada.
I forget his fucking name right now.
Oh, Grant Patterson wrote for it, I think.
Who
was
Tony
it?
Ferguson's buddy. Ben
Oh
Shiver.
no,
Ben
that's
Shiver.
that's different.
Not Monk. That's a different.
That's
Monkey Sticks.
different.
Okay.
That's like
Oh yeah.
it's spelled
that
differently.
Was, yeah, that
Okay.
was a.
yeah.
Huh. Multiple monkey sticks.
It was so weird how Sloshback was zoomed in
I know, right?
with the fisheye and then zoomed out perfectly.
That's the old school
It's a-
way.
Skills.
But when you do that on lines or something, like on
Sock would do that.
Yeah.
He would
You
like
would
zoom
At,
in.
like, at like the World Park or something.
Or even at the courthouse, he would like zoom in when somebody would go up the stairs and then zoom back out with the fisheye.
that was
Hail Mary.
one of the best. Yeah, but I did that trick after that, so this
Oh, you
wasn't
did?
the
Oh,
only
nice.
one. I did a couple kickflip back nose
Get
bumps.
up the door.
I don't think I've ever done a kick. I've never really even done a back nose blunt. They're scary as fuck for me.
me, I haven't
Kick-
done one
you know
either.
what's weird is flip in was easier for me. I learned flip in before I learned regular back nose blunts because you
I
like
could kind of see that. You could huck it
because
more.
you flick and then you stomp. Sometimes when you go into back nose blunt, like I would just like turn out of it. I wouldn't like lock my leg how I would a front nose blunt or something
right.
like that.
Yeah, sometimes when you do, like a blunt, you think of a tail slide.
Yeah,
You do this, you
right.
think of a back tail. And then like for this, it's kind of a front nose.
Yeah.
And I was really good at front noses, but I could never trick my brain to.
Angling your body like that.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
bizarre.
I always remember watching like Eric do it, and I always felt like the way he had his body helped him lock in.
Right. Mhm.
Like it just
He
on-
just looked good doing
yeah,
anything.
of course.
Wait, you did this at Rancher, the kick back nose blunt to fakie in
Yeah.
that line.
Yeah.
Was that so? You did this one before that one?
This was before that for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cause I always tripped out. I'm like, dang, you did the hardest trick, and then you turn around and you Hail Mary to back tail shove, and you landed it.
It was like barely. If you watch, it's weird because the angle that he filmed it, you can't see, but like my heel touches, and then I put my foot back on my board.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. It was so bad. I was like, I need to get another trick. I probably tried something else after that. Like
That was amazing.
I would imagine a varial heel was coming next.
fakie Vero heel.
There you go.
So I would just get baby brains. I just don't know what I'm doing. I just okay, try something.
Well, you had to know what you're doing here. Well, first of all, it's
Oh.
a little manual trick, which is done beautifully. But then this,
Ooh, this.
I mean, there's James Craig getting buck. Bro.
That's the rail. That's
Long ass rail.
that's the rail that ended my career.
Is
Whoa.
it?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So this day, I'm wearing powers, by the way, that look exactly like Habitat or iPath cats. They have like the no tongue and like kind of like Clarks. They look like Clarks, but they have like a cup sole. So this day, there is probably another clip in this part where I do a varial heel flip up a sidewalk, and then the Santa Ana red bars. I do a front blunt big spin.
Oh yeah.
I'm wearing the same outfit. So that rail is right by my high school, and I had looked at it forever. Like always had looked at this rail. So this random day in 2008, we went to Santa Ana. I got the trick super good. Like I was like, this is when I was feeling so good on my board, and I was way past the mental thing of like hurting my knee. So I was like trying rails and bigger stuff. And then we rolled up to this thing, and I was like, oh my God. We rolled up. We just randomly went there to look at it, and the gate was open. And I was like, oh my God.
Gotta try
We
it.
got to skate it. And I did it relatively easy. Like probably 30, 40 minutes. Because you could tell it's the end of the day. Sun's going down because we had skated in Santa Ana before that. And then like I did it pretty easy, and I was like super stoked. I think I went back the next day and shot it again with CU, and I think I made it again.
Wow.
Maybe not. I might have just posed that one, but I knew that I had already had it. Who knows? I mean, dude, we could go. I was almost going to tell you to bring all my ads and photos, and I could tell you how many of them were not makes. Because a lot of them are not makes. And CU is
Well, were they ones that you landed, but then you went and posed, or were they just completely posed?
a lot of them completely just like I would try to land the trick, but like fully didn't make
get
it.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there's sequences of a switchback heel in Australia that I switched back when he needed it warming up. He got the sequence, and I tried switchback heel for 3 or 4 hours. 4 months later, he's like, "Hey, check it out, 6 sequence." Switchback heel.
Dude, he's the best. Dude.
You know
Just trying to get paid.
the double set in Australia that's black,
the
black asphalt that Reynolds nollie cabs. That one.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he's
But I mean,
the best.
there's so many
Peterson's.
photos.
I mean, they used to go down a lot.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you ain't the only one, dude.
But to me, it's like I always look at it as like, well, I want to try to go back and get it. If I don't,
But it's halfway around the world.
But if I don't, I still need an ad, and I need people to see me out in the skate world. So go ahead, run it. I don't give a shit.
The best is like, did you ask for photo incentive and shit like that?
Nah, probably not. I don't even know. I mean, photo incentive was so random back in the day. But anyway, this rail, I went back a month or two later, and I did the faux pas of I had new shoes and an old board. And I was like, I wanted to grind an ollie into the street. Because it's like, it's not that far. Like, if you see when I land,
Yeah.
it's like I'm right almost on the edge of the curb. I've never done that again. If you see right there, it's like,
yeah.
I'm like right there.
Yeah, you pushed it down to like land.
Yeah. I thought it was a couple times I was going to land disaster.
Seems like
and
a
then,
mellow rail, too.
yeah, it's pretty mellow. And then, so I went back with new shoes, old board, and I just tried it for probably 20 or 30 tries. And I was like, dude, I'm just like that one. Like I stood up on it and I like was like, okay, if I just commit to standing up on it, I'm going to make it. And one of them, I just stood up, kicked out my board, both feet catch, and I put my right arm back and just shattered my humerus in half. Like Aaron, it's funny. Aaron filmed it. Like he totally filmed it. And Aaron passes out at the sight of blood.
Oh,
So he like from the tree, he's like in that, see where that tree is at the end?
Over there on the right
He's
there?
he's in the tree filming. He's like, do we have to go to the hospital? And I'm like, yeah, we have to go to the hospital. Like my arm, luckily I grabbed it and pulled it like this. But like Aaron came over and he was like this with the camera.
He wasn't looking.
Because he thought it was like I broke it out of the skin.
Compound fracture.
Yeah. Well,
Or compound break.
Yeah, I spiral fractured it.
What is that? Oh.
So it was like multiple breaks. It was like complete. I should have brought. I should have brought like the.
No,
it was so bad, but like the reason I didn't have to have surgery or anything because when I grabbed it, I just had it like this, so I wasn't displaced more than a certain amount, like a degree. But I remember in the car, I like tried to go like this. And I could just feel the bone spinning inside.
oh, dude.
And I was like, it's so weird because like I was still kind of in shock, and I was like,
Curious at the same time.
Yeah, I was
of course.
like-
let me see if this works.
I was like,
how bad is this?
How bad is it?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
yeah.
I was like, how bad is this?
Yeah.
And I was like I tried to move it, and I could feel it inside.
Goodness.
But yeah, I was like, imagine this. Like if you split, there's like this part. There was a full part here that was completely detached, and then there was multiple pieces down here that were just completely detached.
It's like a lock set, like a tumbler.
Yeah, it was seriously, yeah. But I got lucky, and I didn't have
No
to have
surgery.
Yeah.
Wow.
So basically, because it wasn't displaced, like, you know when you break a bone, the reason that they'll have to put like a rod in it is because it's displaced so much that it won't naturally heal.
back.
Fuse back together.
And then, so when I did it, he was like, basically, if we do surgery, you take out like, so you get like a hematoma, and then you get like a blood clot, and then the blood clot becomes fibrous tissue, and that's how your body normally wants to heal something. But when you do surgery, you take out the hematoma and you put it in a foreign object, like a rod or something like that. And yeah, so I got lucky. I didn't have to have surgery. But yeah, this was about the time that things ended, because then I like went and got, like, I was obviously hurt, so then I just started working at Liberty Board Shop again. This is probably 2008, and I was like manager for Liberty for a while. It's funny, I was doing interviews around that time. Like I would go help Aaron like He worked for what's it called?
Havoc.
It's not Havoc.
Fuel?
It's the one that Ray Ivy did. He's Letitia's manager. What? I forget the name of it. It's one of these internet.
Torch?
No, it was one of these internet like companies that was like trying to do shows and content and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I was like going and doing interviews, and it was like I went to go interview. Like we just happened to be there, and Guy was there, and I was like so nervous. Like Guy's my favorite skater of all time, like hands down. It's like he's the guy.
Same.
He's my go. You know how it is.
Yeah.
And like I went to go like interview him, and he's like, "Oh, what happened, man?" Like I was like, "I broke my arm," because I'm like fully in his sling. But then like I interviewed Guy, and I was so fucking stoked.
Oh wow, that's tight.
But that's when I started working at Liberty, became the manager, and then in 2010, that's when the team manager position opened up at Dwindle. And
Got you.
that happened, and
Huh.
the pro career kind of just faded.
But then it opens up judging.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 2010 is when the first time I judged Tampa Am, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Tampa Pro, and then X Games, and Dew Tour, and Copenhagen.
Were you scared that you didn't know kind of what was going on? Like, am I going to work at a skate shop? What are my skills? What's the next step? Where am I going?
Yeah, when I was working at the shop, it was kind of that thing about like, damn, what am I gonna do? Although I still, there was some part of me that was like, maybe I can keep skating, but I'm not really making money. And then when the team manager position opened up, that's when I was like, all right, I'm gonna work in the industry.
Something,
I want to
right.
go do this.
Yeah.
You know. And then it ended up working out. I think it could have gone anywhere from there. I didn't expect it to be where I am now.
Right.
But it just everything just happened for a reason. Like because judging the contest was how I got in good with Clem and all those dudes and Rothmeyer and all that stuff. I mean, and even when I worked at Dwindle, I went up and interviewed for the Nike TM job, and then it came around again, and Casper and Scuba were like, "Hey, it's up again," and then they had to hire internal, so it just didn't work out. And then when I got let go, Clem just like we had talked about me working for Excel. But it was just soon to be like, all right, let's start doing it. You can figure it out, and then whenever you're ready, you can like leave Dwindle. And then they gave me the axe, and it just fast tracked it, which is honestly the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
Sometimes a negative turned into a positive, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes you don't realize when things are getting stagnant, because I think I would have just kind of coasted along that path unless I got a job at like a Nike or something like that.
I was going to say that about the skate shop because 1 year can turn into 4 years. 4 years can turn into 6 years. Before you know it, you're like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yep.
I'm managing a skate shop. I'm 40-something years old.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing,
No.
but I'm just saying, like...
It's not a career necessarily.
Sure.
No.
Like, I mean, that's awesome if people can do that and make a living.
sustain themselves, yeah.
And you do serve a purpose. You give back to the community. You get to do
100%.
stuff, There was a bunch of stuff that we did, like, we would always like do demos and stuff like that, and like the America team would roll in, and it's like Leo and Reynolds and all these dudes, and like I know what they're feeling, so like I'd have like beers and like waters
Yeah.
and like I would have it all set up, and like I remember one time like I was like Leo, you want beer, whatever, I forget what, water or something like that, and he was just like super stoked because I was like it was like team managing for the incoming team,
Right.
where I was like, oh, I know how it is. I want to make sure you guys are super stoked,
Yeah. Right.
And every time they were super stoked, and it felt good. It was one of those things where you're like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
make sure the boss wants to come back.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Totally. That's
So-
important, man. I mean, being out on the road and all that stuff, going to these skate shops. Some skate shops are really hospitality, whatever the fuck you want to
Hospitable?
call it.
Hospitable. Yeah.
Thank you. Hospitable. Some others weren't. It was kind of a give and take.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It was always a random one when you would just show
Depending
up,
on what skate shop it was.
Yeah.
Right.
If they were really fucking about
Yeah.
it.
Right.
because then you would get the random just jump ramp flat bar. What was that in? Was it Goldfish?
Oh, hot chocolate.
Hot
Hot chocolate.
Just the
Oh,
most
chocolate.
rinky dink.
What was
Yeah.
it, hot chocolate?
I believe it might be hot chocolate.
Yeah, hot chocolate
Hot
tour.
tour.
Because that's how it was back in the day. Like when you went on tour, you got paid like $400. So like you would go to the shop, do the demo, get the 400. That gave you gas and hotel for the next
Yep.
leg of the trip. Nowadays shops don't pay. They barely even have your product. There'd be so many times.
That's the funny thing, dude.
There'd be so many times we would do blind demos. Like this was like later after everything, and like, dude, we would go in and they wouldn't have one board on the wall.
Wow.
And we're just like, what are we doing here?
But you're promoting blind.
yeah,
that way, there's now a demand in that area.
Hopefully they
get
order
blind.
boards.
Yeah.
But you would have thought like they've known the demo's coming for months. But
Yeah. At least
No
have
boards.
some boards on the wall.
just a couple.
You know?
Me a tech deck? Can I get a tech deck?
How about a little sticker in the
They
display
make you work
case?
for that order, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be the case, though. These guys are coming into town. They're driving cross country.
Yeah.
You know, they're coming to put on a show for your community, your people.
Out there promoting their product.
Yeah,
It happened. But you know what? It never changed my perception of what I was doing. Like I was there to like
Oh, no.
be a good person and make people happy and try to do like I took demos as serious as a contest. Like maybe even more because like you just leave it all out there because maybe that's the only time that you ever get to skate in front of that kid and you want to make sure.
He's a fan for life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Try.
the thing is like, you know, we joke about it all the time, you know, not skating, going to get a coffee, the demos, this and that. But at the end of the day, you know, I felt like I would go in and do a trick or two. You know, I try to find my little ledge, do a nose
Right.
grind, do my little thing. But then I would just enjoy hanging out with all the kids and, you know, hanging out in the skate shop and answering questions. Like I really liked the connection part of it rather than just like the disconnect and just skating. I like the interactions and
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably just as important, if not more. Where it's
I thought so.
because the personal connection, like you know, when you see a pro, like I think we've experienced this where like you'll see someone and you like kind of know they might know,
Yeah.
and then they don't know what to say, and then you just be like, "What's up, man? How's it going?" You know, and you break the ice, and then they're like, "Oh, so happy to meet you," whatever. Like I always loved doing that. It's just like, "Hey, man, I'm just the same as you,
Just a dude.
just a person."
Yeah.
You know what I
Just
mean?
break the ice here for
Yep.
yeah, it was interesting. It was fun though. I mean, I would have like a couple clips in the
Yeah.
little thing. But I was out talking to the kids. I was out hanging out in the parking lot.
Weird. You're talking to people?
Probably getting beat in skate, you know.
Let's play a game of skate.
I said, hell no. I'd ask them what their best trick was.
He's like, where's the nearest coffee shop?
They'd be like, oh, big spin heel. I'm like, I'm not playing you.
No.
Motherfucker.
You're like, I'm not getting humiliated out here.
Shit.
I'm not playing you.
You're like, I got
I'm the
skunked.
same shit.
We're in public.
I got skunked in the parking lot by some kid. You're like, all right, demo's over.
Where are we going? Cincinnati? All right.
We're ready to go.
James Craig, bro. I'm so glad you came back and hung out with us
Hell
and
yeah.
shot the shit.
I appreciate
fun.
you guys having me.
Stopped and chatted. Come back anytime.
Thank
We'd
you.
love to have you. We have more clips to talk about. Obviously, we can't go through everything.
For sure. I'll fill in on the experience anytime. too.
Yeah.
You know your boy can talk.
Oh yeah,
Definitely be welcome to do so.
Yes.
You're great at talking too, man.
You
You
know
had
what?
a great conversation today.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
The show's live.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right.
I mean, this show could have been live,
Yeah.
except for the one mishap we had here. That nobody, again, as our earlier conversation, nobody sees the unfortunate incidents that happen with the video clips and me having to go back and try to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Chris is putting in a little overtime today, boys.
A little OT, baby, but it's all for the greater cause,
No
man.
doubt.
You know, we do this show not only for you guys to have your voice and have fun and talk, but we do it for the fans. I hate the word fans, but the community.
We don't want to get real jobs.
I think as a skateboarder in general, like we don't want to get
No.
real jobs.
No.
Like that's our goal in life, right? It's not to have a real job.
Well, we're willing to work as long as it's
On our terms.
doing something we love.
Yes.
Like if we're talking
Yes,
about
please.
skateboarding, that's fine.
Hell
but
yeah.
like doing some shit that I have no business doing, I don't want to do that.
right,
Yeah.
right. It's great to be your own.
You
boss.
want to do what?
And I'm so lucky too. Like it's funny because even like doing the management thing, like I have to read like pretty intense contracts, and it's like the way the words are put together. It's like the first couple times I was like, this looks like a foreign language. Like I don't understand what's going on, and now it's like I can read things like when you see in perpetuity,
Yeah.
you might need to stop. And really read that because sometimes they have the rights to use anything you've done forever, and then it'll be throughout the universe, which basically means I can use it anywhere, anytime, for anything.
That's what an MTV contract looks like.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's just like, and it's funny because like they'll send you contracts, and there'll be times where we have to be like, hey, can you like change this from like 180 days to 30 days, where like first right of refusal, or if they can you're not allowed to engage in talking with a different sponsor that's in the same category for like 6 months, and you just have to get them to change it. And most of the time they're like, okay,
Yeah.
We'll change
Yeah.
that. That's fine. But
Well, I feel like a lot of companies deal with a standard contract. I mean,
Right.
I've
just
talked
protecting
to
their ass. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But a lot of it sometimes is one-sided as well. You
Yeah.
know, I've talked about it openly on the show. Here's my audio contract. It was like I immediately sent it to a friend of mine's, you know, that a lawyer who was like a gnarly lawyer, you know, and audio was probably like, who the fuck is Chris Roberts has this lawyer? Jesus Christ.
how can you
Guys-
afford this guy?
He was gnarly. It
Yeah.
was like one of the biggest law firms. But I sent it to him, and literally he called me back in 5 minutes. He's like, do not fucking sign this thing.
Yeah.
You know? And listen, I'm not mad at audio. They're just doing their thing.
Right.
They try to protect themselves. But they changed it. So actually when audio went out of business or they started kicking everybody off, God damn it, they had to pay me for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And I was like, fuck yes.
Well
bro.
done, sir. Well done. Yes.
Because otherwise, they could have gotten rid of me for having a cold, for sneezing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For anything.
Yeah.
And I was so grateful to that lawyer to rearrange that contract because I'm like, I would have been fucked.
Most people don't
Because you
even
base
think-
your lifestyle around what you're making,
Of course.
right? And you start to, you know, you maybe a better apartment or this or that. And
What month in the year were you at?
I mean, I think it was earlier on in the
So
year.
you're like
or-
April. You're like, yes.
I maybe
pay
had
for
like
the rest of the
You're
year.
like,
I maybe
I got 8 more months, baby.
it was probably like 8 months or something,
I love
8 or
it.
6 months.
Yeah.
Love it.
And so they had to keep paying me. They fulfilled the contract, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Fuck! Thank God I had somebody look at that thing." Because we all know majority of skateboarders, they probably just sign on the.
Yeah.
I want to skate for you so bad. Oh my God! If I send it to them, they're gonna be mad at me because I'm trying to change their contract.
Yeah.
So
and
many things go through your mind.
it's funny because there are all kinds of different types of contracts. It's like when I looked at the StockX one for Yuri, it was like I had to read it like 3 or 4 times because I was like, this is pretty friendly. Like this is pretty good for my guy.
Yeah.
And like I had to make sure like read
What
it, and
am I
I'm like,
missing?
yeah, because I'm always expecting. There's always
There's a
something
trap
in
door
there,
out.
yeah, that's like it's benefiting them,
Right.
And it's like, you know, and there's like certain companies that it's like when I negotiate a deal, it's like usually I'll understand. I usually know the person I'm working with, and I have known them for quite a long time. So like here's an example. There was one of my clients who I was trying to redo their shoe deal. They're a very valuable person to this company, which I will remain nameless. But the process ended up taking about. So I ended up getting an offer. I had hit the person up that I contacted about 3 months before. We usually start 3 months before, so we can get it
Got enough
everything
time.
ironed out before the contract's actually up. I was on vacation, coming back home from Colorado with my wife and some friends, and then I get an offer sheet the day before contract expires. And I like look at it, and I'm like, and from that point on, it took 4.5 months, 5 months. So we had to like hold out, and I had to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It ended up working out. Everyone was happy. We're stoked. Another example was probably a few months later, but I was helping Frankie out with his New Balance contract. I sent Seb an email. I was like, hey, I think this for this long. He sends an email back. Here's my counter. And that's basically what I asked for. And I was like, done. We're good.
Yeah.
2 emails. Done.
Is that
Like-
beautiful?
Oh, it's great.
Best.
Like,
Sure.
Well, and that's the difference where it's
Or
like
do you
some-
start thinking to yourself like, fuck,
Did I
should ask
understand
for more?
Yeah, no, it was
God
it was
damn
it was it was a little less than I asked for, but I understood. I had conversations with him before, and it was just like, but like I told Frankie how much it was, and he was like, "I'm not worth that," and I'm like, "Yeah, you are.
Yes, he is.
Yes, you
Frankie
are.
is the man.
He's the best.
He's so
he
sick,
is
bro.
the best dude. It's funny because I tried to help Frankie from. I mean, I tried to help get him on a Joy. Like, Louis still kicks himself about that one.
Yeah.
I think I even talked to you about it because
Yeah.
you were behind me, and I was just like, Louis is his favorite skater.
Where it got complicated is when Zero came into Dwindle.
Yeah, but this was after that. But whatever. The footage that he had sent me was like it was a little bit of his weirder stuff. So I just think it didn't really connect.
Yeah.
But it's like
Oh, he was so good for Enjoy back then. Yeah.
because when I think it was when he left.
Still be.
Yeah.
No, when he
Sure.
left Black Label, I was like, "Who are you getting boards from?" And I was like, "He's like, no one." I was like, "I will give you whatever you want." So I sent him like a Joy, almost like blind. I sent him everything. I was like, "You pick what you want, and we'll make it happen." And then it didn't end up working out. And then when I started working in Excel, I was like, "Man, I want to work with Frankie. Like, he's dope. Like, I know that there's some possibility." He was already in a New Balance contract, So I don't make money off of a contract I don't
Yeah.
negotiate.
Sure.
And the same thing that if I negotiate a contract and someone fires me, I still get the money
Right.
for for the duration of the contract. I mean, I'm the one who
You
did
did the
it.
work, yeah.
So,
totally.
Yeah.
but yeah, like it's interesting to understand the dynamic of like sometimes it's difficult, and I know what the company's doing. They want to try to get the person as cheap as possible. But I work like if I worked for Dubs, I'm trying to get Dubs as what
Max
he
dollar.
Yeah.
what he is worth and more.
Right.
It's a fact, you
Right.
know. And
Love that.
sometimes
I'm gonna
it's-
have to call you. I mean,
If
start
you-
working.
We're all gonna have to call him.
Yeah.
It's
We're all
funny-
gonna have to call him.
Well, it's funny because like I'll
Gotta
tell
call
people.
James.
I always tell people like, man, even if you have a question about a contract and you want me to look at it,
Yeah.
I'm down. Like,
Well, that's the beauty of because Clemens helps us out here
Right.
with our management and invoicing and stuff like that. And it's been for me. It's been. I mean, I'm speaking for everybody. It's been such a blessing
right.
Yeah.
because I can't do all that stuff. I can't do this show and then have to look at our tax return and take care of this paperwork and then this stuff and Clemens.
You
I
guys
mean,
are
they're-
working with. Not to cut you off.
Please.
You guys are working with HGJB management, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I've been working with them probably like 22 years, and
Yeah.
you're in good hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do.
That's
really
who does
good
our
job.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, so they transferred over, but they
Yeah.
keep track. Oh my god, it's like it's a blessing. So like I mean, skaters supporting skaters again. Like anytime I have a question, Clemens is happy to jump on the phone. He's a worth of knowledge too.
It's insane.
and he doesn't force anything. He's just like, well, this is what I would do
Right.
if I was in your position. This is what I would. He just gives me like his options that he thinks is be, and then I can take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah,
and it's
that's
crazy
pretty
too.
good.
Like, I mean, I've learned from Clem what work ethic is because that man has no chill. Like it's how much work that guy does on a daily basis. People will never know.
Yeah.
Calls, text, and he'll get back to everybody. Emails, like
It's
the way he communicates.
crazy.
It's like inspiring. It's almost too much sometimes. Where I'm like, damn, I suck because this guy's really good. But it also inspires me. Like, okay, I want to be like
Yeah,
that.
stay in
Like,
the game.
Yeah.
I want to be like that.
It's time management.
Yeah.
He's very good. He's very punctual. Actually, I emailed him 3 days ago. He hasn't emailed me back.
I could text him right
I'm
now.
just kidding. I'm kidding.
Heck yeah.
Listen, James. Hey, come back anytime. Like I said,
Awesome.
man, because I love talking shop with you. I'm sure we all do. The skate talk, behind the scenes stuff. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I think hopefully people could take away from this episode is be happy for these skaters
Yeah.
that are making this money and
quit hating on
making a living doing it.
Yeah.
Fucking get off their backs.
Well, I appreciate you giving me the platform and
course.
come and hang out with the
Of course, man.
homies.
Definitely.
Come
And-
back again
Thanks for
and again.
coming, dude.
yeah, and then like I said, if there's ever questions, I'll give my opinion.
We're
'Cause
gonna
I've-
talk right after the show.
I've seen some shit.
Hell yeah.
I've seen some shit.
True.
James Craig, everybody. Huh?
Yeah.